Woo, baby. Welcome back to another brand new episode of That Dumb Guys Do Racing podcast. And I'm here with the boys, Jimbo, Coach Mike, and Todd. And Jimbo, we got a special guest today.
We do have a special guest, RL9010.
Woo!
You don't know who he is. He's a racer out of California. Terry,
they probably don't know who I am.
No, they probably don't. Todd discovered you.
Actually, I've been racing with you guys for years. You guys just don't know it.
Oh, shit. Oh, damn.
Hold on. I gotta go back through my video base and start looking.
If you do, you might see me pop up every once in a while because I've definitely been around the scene for a long time.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So it's
super funny.
Finally good to talk to you guys. Although, back then, I'll be honest, everyone evolves in racing, right? You guys weren't the cleanest group out there. Just saying.
Yeah, we've gotten a lot better. Yeah,
nowadays it's a totally different game, but there's this guy named Jimbo that's fucking asshole, dude. Like all the time.
Yes,
that guy.
I am an asshole. I
That's our
admit
enforcer.
to being an asshole. Yeah. Oh yeah, I am an enforcer.
Yeah, we've had our run-ins in the past, but I think all of that has changed. I think we've all grown old a little bit, and I've seen the racing mature. So I think we're all good.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. Todd's grown the oldest.
You're not far behind, Jimbo.
No, I'm not. I've become the second oldest. But it's funny because out of all of us, I think probably Todd and Mike are the most improved in the team.
Oh, yeah.
Like Todd's always been pretty fast, and then he's just
Todd's the fastest.
Todd's
sure.
the fastest by far. And then Mike is pushing it. That's for sure too.
Oh yeah.
He's got some upgraded equipment, and as I feared, it's helped him.
Yeah.
Nice. That's usually how upgraded equipment works,
Right.
I'm like,
At least that's what we hope.
Oh,
I mean,
maybe I shouldn't have sent him my old gear because now it's helping him.
Right.
oh jeez.
I went from a G29 on just a wheel stand and a movable seat to a full rig with the CSL Elite, thanks to Jim, with loads of
nice.
That's and everything. So
that's a huge difference. Yeah. I mean, I can go on about wheelbases, guys. I've gone through so many wheelbases. I'm like the dude that started playing Gran Turismo on a wheel when it was first available on a wheel. So that's like GT3 with a Logitech Driving Force. Not even a Driving Force Pro, a Driving Force, which was a nice little toy.
Was that the G25?
No, it was
before that.
It's like two or three generations before the G25.
Shit.
So we're talking about
way back,
180 degree steer, very little to no force feedback. Like we're talking about pure eye can coordination stuff.
Right.
Yeah. My first wheel was a rubber band wheel.
Oh yeah. Those are great.
Yeah, it's
bungees.
But the bungee cords inside playing on. Oh, geez, I can't remember if it might have been PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2, one of the two. But I can, I am fairly old school too.
Right, no force feedback whatsoever.
No force feedback.
No
feedback at all.
They were $100.
Kids nowadays have it so good. They got force feedback. They got direct drive.
VR.
Back in my day, there was not even a belt-driven wheel. It was all done by gears.
Yeah.
Rigs. We had to clamp that shit to the desk on a lawn chair.
Yep. We dreamed of this day. Dreamed of this day.
You had a desk?
Yes. What are you talking?
Right.
I had a
coffee table.
I had a
TV tray.
TV tray. I had a TV tray and a dining room chair.
That's what I put
had.
my
The
son
most
in for
secure
Forza.
of all rigs.
I made him go old school, and I did that exact thing. A fucking TV tray, a dining room chair, and I go, here you
There
go,
you go.
son. Fucking try it out. And he did it for 5 minutes. He's like, oh, fuck this.
This sucks, Dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
This isn't, what the hell is this shit?
Yeah, kids have it so good nowadays. You could go out and buy a rig for freaking $300, slap a fucking $400 brand new direct drive wheel on it, and then complain about forced feedback. It's just like, what the hell?
Yeah, no
Yep.
complaints. You
Oh,
cannot
hell no.
complain unless
You've come through the whole ringer.
Y'all don't know how far we've come.
Oh, dude.
You don't really, you have no idea how long I waited until the direct drive
Same.
just like for
And
to be in my
VR?
hands.
And
Again,
VR?
it goes back to what we were saying before there. Like, it's just like the ability to have any of this stuff is just a blessing.
It's
Fuck
mind blowing.
You know, I mean, just, be thankful what you have is what you have. It could be, we could be stuck back in the Atari days and stuff like that still and whatnot.
Man, with a joystick, dude, my first controller was a freaking joystick.
Right?
Yeah.
joystick
Yeah.
and one button.
Yeah, like a Thrustmaster
Fucking
joystick
goddamn
going.
ColecoVision.
Waka,
Little
waka,
fucking,
waka,
you ever
waka,
seen
waka,
that? The little
waka, waka,
ColecoVision?
waka,
Fucking
waka.
little pad with a
Yes.
dial and a couple buttons.
ColecoVision, yes. Played on ColecoVision, yeah.
Yeah, you used to have
So-
to put the little fucking sliders in the controller to see what the buttons were.
So one of the reasons we brought Terry on is he's purchased the PlayStation Pro. We had a little discussion before we came live, and Terry,
Yeah.
I'm intimidated by your intelligence. My
No,
God.
no, not at all.
Oh, you are such a fount of information. It blows my mind. It's great. I'm just like, this guy is smarter than all of us put together.
Oh, yeah. And if he's
Like,
saying
I-
we
if
should buy
that's
it, I think
true-
I'm going to buy it.
If that's true, then yeah, we are a bunch of dumb guys on this podcast.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Yes.
right. Yeah.
Yes, we
You
are.
got it.
Uh-huh.
Label fits.
So, so you have been sim racing for
Oh,
jeez, over 20 years.
Yeah. I guess the first time really getting online would be Gran Turismo 4. So that was a LAN game. That wasn't even an online game.
Yeah.
But I found a way to port it over the internet through a program, and that was a crazy time. So this program was called X-Link Kai, Kai. And back in the day, we used this program to trick PlayStation 2 into thinking it was in a LAN game, even though we were playing over the internet. And no one could get that thing figured out when it first came out. Like they said, oh, you could play LAN games on the internet with your PlayStation. And you guys know Gran Turismo Planet, GTP.
Yep.
I think everyone knows Gran
Yep.
Turismo Planet.
Yeah.
We were heavy in that forum there, and what we did is we found out a way to actually do the connection of the LAN game on the internet. And it was a crazy thing because you had to have the host start the game, and you had to have the clients then join the game within like a minute, right? Because there's only like a minute timeout window available for you. So we figured out how to get this all connected. So I was drifting online Gran Turismo 4 on a wheel back when GT4 was around. So before the official release of PlayStation 5, or before the official release of Gran Turismo 5 with online play.
Holy shit.
Or was it Prologue? Prologue was online. Something was online play.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it was
Prologue.
Prologue. Prologue or
was,
6.
Prologue was not
Because Prologue was just...
awesome.
Was there a 5? Was there an official 5? GT5?
forgot.
I don't remember.
I
thought
forgot.
Prologue was 5, but I could be wrong.
Prologue was 4, right? I'm sorry. Prologue was 4. And then we had...
I'm going to go look it up.
We had like
Now we gotta look at the
PlayStation,
list.
Gran Turismo HD.
Yeah.
Right.
was
Yeah.
one of the demos. GTHD was one of the demos. That was mind blowing. Holy shit! That was the first time we saw Iger. That blew
Oh
my
yeah,
mind.
that's right. So now, what do you do for work? Because it
Okay.
seems like you're very tech savvy.
For work, so there's this small company on this island across the ocean in Japan called Astro Design. And what this company does is essentially we're a digital video processing company. What that means is we make signal generators, which is essentially a pattern, like color bars and that weird, TV standby picture that you usually get.
Yeah.
In the UK, it's a little girl that just like is looking very innocent, but it's like a technical difficulties picture. Essentially, we output those pictures so that you can test your displays. We also do HDMI video interface analysis. We're one of two companies that can certify an HDMI product with official certification tests. And on top of all of that, Astro Design is the first company to touch 8K resolution video. So we made the first 8K camera back in 2013. We've been pushing super high resolution 8K video solutions all around the world. And a lot of the stuff that I'm working on, I can't tell you about. So that's just the nature of my job. So
Right,
I like it.
No, that makes sense. So, from your first 8K camera to now, what?
Dude, that's 8K. That's insane.
That has to be monumental changes from Genesis to now, where we have Xbox X that says that they can do 8K. Now the PlayStation Pro, which you have,
yes,
which works in 8K also.
it can output 8K. Yes. Yet to be not yet tested, but me knowing the group that actually makes the console, the actual engineers, they're super Japanese, by the way.
They're regular. They're super Japanese.
I totally trust them in what they say it outputs.
Hell yeah.
Because they do use my analyzer to do everything. So, yeah.
Of course you have to trust them. If you don't trust them, you got a problem with your own stuff.
Yeah, seriously, exactly. Yeah, they saw my room.
I don't know about these guys. They're using my shit. Fuck. I don't trust them.
Yeah, they saw my room and they were just like, "Holy shit, you have everything!" And then I showed them my tower of older consoles, which is ridiculous. So they know they know that all my salary goes back to them.
Right.
Yep, well, that's which makes them very happy.
Oh yeah.
So they buy my test equipment, which is awesome.
I was talking with one of my buddies at work who considers himself a computer geek, and he was like, "Well, I don't know if a console can push 8K and get the right frame rate. It's going to slow the frame rate so far down that I don't think that it's going to work right."
That's not how video works, but that's okay.
I was going to say. So, in him saying that, can you, to a bunch of dumb guys that like to race, can you explain why that's not going to happen?
Why you won't see frame rate reduction with the increase of beautiful picture resolution? So all of that stuff is balanced out. All these video formats are balanced with a particular data load and bandwidth that they all run at. So if you have the right pipe and you have the pipe that has enough space to get all that data through, which is the water, then you're going to have a smooth flowing data pipe, right? I think the idea behind increasing resolution is going to slow down the rest. Is the idea that you're creating a pipe that's just enough size, and then you're forcing a lot more water through it. And what happens with that, you get higher pressure and like it's just like a faster flow, but you're still getting the same amount of water through.
Right.
I think that's the thought process behind thinking that more resolution is going to stutter frame rate. But if that happens, then that resolution hardware is what's bogging everything down. So it's the processing speed of the device at that point.
Okay.
And so yes, if you're running like if we try and push 8K over like let's say the PlayStation 5, then you will get that slowdown and stuttering and whatnot. But with the hardware on the PlayStation 5 Pro, it can support 8K 60 through HDMI 2.1, which is, dude, you guys don't understand how gnarly that is. I could buy that for $700. Dude, I sell that stuff. We used to sell that stuff for like 20, 30, 40 grand.
Wow.
Damn.
Okay,
God,
so
Lord.
that's
Jesus.
oh, that's a good example of 2013 8K
Right.
compared to 2024 8K.
Oh, you
that's
huge
the best
difference.
11
that's the
years.
best example
Yes.
right there is the monumental change in cost that I don't think people understand when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
You know, back in what is it, the 1992 or 1994 when they were talking about, high definition TV.
Oh, HD. Oh my gosh, HD. HD
You know,
blew this world apart, didn't it?
it did.
Like,
Oh yeah.
and no one really fought it, did they? Like when HD came out, was anyone fighting this resolution? Like,
Hell no.
No, again, you had the complaint though because the TV was, a 30-inch TV was $10,000.
sure. But what happened? We got rid of all those CRT tube TVs, and now we're all thinking, "Ah, fuck, maybe we shouldn't have stopped making them because they were fucking awesome for gaming."
Yeah, that's true. We had a great time on those.
Oh, those are great displays. If you can find one of those displays now, and you're into retro gaming, it's by far the best thing you can do is buy one of those older nice TVs. Good
Yeah.
luck. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But let's look at that. $10,000 30 years ago. Now you can buy the same size TV with better resolution for $100 or $200.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that's and
Like-
that's one of the funny things is like you look at like the time that's passed and the cost difference now. It's probably one of the few things you can count that didn't go up in inflation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
everything's
Like
gone
it
down.
got cheaper and cheaper with that technology. Where like, and that's the other thing with like the cost of consoles. They've always been in that, depending $400 to $700.
Oh,
price
easy.
range. You know what I mean? And
Not to mention that we globally we just went through a global chip shortage that everyone just magically forgot about.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone gets
Well, like-
amnesia.
I think we need to look at the cost of games too. We complain about spending $70 for a game. I
Dude.
can remember paying $50 for a Nintendo game.
yeah.
And that was back
Back in
then when money was worth way more than it is right now.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. And I'm like, the fact that it's gone from, $50 in 1990 to $70, 35 years later, 34 years later? Stop you fucking bitching.
On top of that, the game companies are also supporting the game, so you get constant updates throughout the entire year.
Yeah. It's crazy to bitch about something like that.
Like there was a time Gran Turismo 4 when they didn't update shit. Right?
Yeah.
You bought it, and
What
you
was
got
an
what you
update?
got.
Yep.
Yeah, you bought it and you got what you got, right? And we enjoyed the hell out of it. And then all of a sudden they give us all these free updates with new cars every month or a couple months, and we're sitting here complaining. What the fuck?
So I got a question for you. You said you were taking Gran Turismo 4, going online and drifting. Now,
Yep.
are you also an in real life drifter?
No.
So
It's
you're just a video game drifter.
That's just way too expensive.
Yeah.
Truth. Truth.
The reason why I am in sim racing is essentially I love driving. Okay, driving is just one of those things that like I fell in love with. It happened at Russell Wong's birthday party. He had a birthday party at a go-kart track.
Ooh.
And it was at that moment that I was like, holy fuck, racing is so much fun, right?
Yeah.
And I've been chasing that feeling ever since. Yes, it happens in actual go-karts. But go-karting got really expensive. It's like $50, every time you go, right? Like that's not sustainable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you graduate from karting and you're like, all right, I want to buy a car. And then you look at the car and you look at the time, right? How much time are you really going to have on track with your own race car? Maybe a weekend for a couple hours, couple times a month, right? And then what are you doing when you're not at the track? You're probably fixing the damn thing.
Working on it, yeah.
So I chose sim racing because it's no cost, no maintenance. I could just drive my heart out every single night. And you guys see me online now, like when I'm streaming. Now, I used to not stream, but now that I stream, I pretty much play only when I stream because I stream so long. Like yesterday was 11 hours.
You do.
Right.
Yes,
Holy
Jesus. How many miles did you do yesterday?
Right?
Let's take a look. Let's boot up some games. So we ran two accounts.
You are at 400,000+ miles driven in this game.
Total? Oh, Jesus
I think
Christ.
so. Yeah.
Wow.
400,000 people.
But
Right.
I think a
Game's
lot
been
of
out
that.
for 2.5 years.
Well, I have to clear something up though. A lot of that is from the whatchamacallit, Tomahawk being scripted to run on that stupid oval track. For a bunch of credits. Back when there was a glitch with the engine
doing
glitch,
the
the gift card glitch that was open for like a couple weeks. I found a computer script and I basically while I was working, I just ran to remote play computer script. And gained a bunch of credits. So
I love it.
essentially, my RL account is a cheat account, and I got all the cars because I cheated the code. The GT Ronin
awesome.
account though is 100% pure gameplay.
Okay.
So on this RL account, I have 5,800 something odd hours on here. And on the Ronin account, it's like 500 something. Let me boot out Ronin. Yeah, it's a lot of gameplay, but a lot of that is the game's just on in the background, and I'm not doing anything.
Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, no.
We lose him.
Swapped, because he swapped accounts.
You swapped accounts. Boy.
He should have known. He should have been able to just go into his.
And I'll
friends
cut
up
this.
icon and look at it.
Timestamp 34
count
minutes.
And he is PSVR2 GT Ronin.
Okay, I'll have to
Yes.
add him. Ooh, we should add his other account to this chat if
See how long
anyone's
it
friends
takes
with him.
I just
Yeah.
I just sent a friend's request. I just sent a friend's request to him. Yes. Oh, he has friends. He has friends with us now.
Oh, this is a good friend to have.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh my gosh.
I don't feel dumb now.
No, not at all. Oh God.
Fuck. I feel like
I am
a
like- I am-
caveman now.
I'm
Sticks,
like, I am
rocks,
the
and
dumbest-
fucking fire.
Pardon me while I drag my knuckles behind
Right.
me. Because
I
got
feel
some
like I'm
rocks.
in the backwoods of Alabama. I should be marrying my sister.
Oh gosh, where's it at? Oh, PS4. Okay, I just did send him an invite on this.
Oh, fuck.
Dude, we should.
And action.
I forgot. If I switch accounts, I get logged off of this chat.
Yeah, don't worry. We're like, oh, he went to the other account. Yeah. That's what happened.
Yeah. Basically, I was talking to myself. I was like, hey, it got extremely quiet.
Don't worry. Woo! Boy, it makes us feel better.
No, I found myself.
We're like, oh man, that's not just something we do.
Yeah. I totally.
That's so funny.
That. Anyways, I have enough hours on the other account, but the GT Ronin account, the one that I stream, that's 100% legit Gran Turismo account. That's a non-cheating account.
So do you have an actual drift team that you drift with in Gran Turismo?
I did. We were called Drift Dojo. So back in Gran Turismo 4, Drift Dojo was the official first online Gran Turismo drift team.
That's pretty cool.
And imagine playing at 20 FPS, because that's what it was like.
Holy crap.
Oh no. Oh,
so
that's great.
We're talking about extreme stuttering and lagging.
Yeah.
20 frames per second.
Which was pretty much impossible and not good enough to play on, unless you're just a Gran Turismo diehard nut, which we were. And we figured out how to drift with all that lag, and that actually taught me how to control the car, because you can take time, right? You can fix corrections. So
yeah.
You would make a correction, but you'd find out that hold on, that's overcorrecting it, and then in between the stutter you kind of fix it, and then all of a sudden you're perfect. So it was an interesting gameplay experience. So people that are like, oh my, I'm it's only 60 FPS, I'm not getting 120 hertz. Shut up. You don't even realize how good 120 hertz is. I used to play at freaking stuttering 20 FPS, and it was the best time of my life. Now I have 120 variable refresh rate online with someone sitting in another country, not in the same country, in another freaking country. And I'm getting almost okay, I see a little bit of internet lag, but it's dude, that's not bad at all. You don't realize what I had to deal with.
Yeah, technology now, you play across the world, and it's just you're playing couch side by side with your buddy back.
Yeah, it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's the coolest.
There's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, so there's current state of gaming, freaking awesome, I think.
Hell yeah.
For what we get. And yes, we do pay a small fee to get access online, but I mean, what service is out there that is 100% free?
Oh yeah, none of them.
There's nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, you're paying. I mean, then of course, then there's going to be someone that Facebook is free, right? But it's not. You're
fuck Facebook.
You're paying. You're basically saying, okay, show me the ads.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Show me the ads. Instagram, show me the ads.
Woo! Show those ads, baby.
It's free, but it's not. You just gave away your personal data preferences to a corporation that just their job is to sell advertisements.
Right.
That's their job. They're an advertisement company at the end of the day. Yeah. If you boil it down.
Yeah, and they got to make money.
Which is gnarly. And we eat it up.
So you think with the update coming out later this week for the Pro enhancement, what are you expecting to see because right now without the Pro enhancement, it's already looks better and running better. Do you see even a bigger jump?
I believe so. Software integration will always make hardware run smoother. And that's just the name of the game. That's just how things are, right?
Right.
So with this, the improvements that we see on the VR headset with PS5 Pro, pure hardware. That's a pure hardware processing improvement. Like, that's just the hardware doing its thing, right? Nothing's changed. The code hasn't changed. Honestly, with the PSSR update coming with Gran Turismo, not much is going to change visually for me.
Okay.
With the VR, I don't expect a huge jump from what I'm getting right now. Yes, maybe colors and maybe ray tracing might show up, but if that shows up, it's going to be a different game.
Oh yeah. I wonder. Yeah, I wonder how that's going to look in VR with the ray tracing on.
Well, as it is, I mean, you've got to realize it was, how much did we pay for it?
For the VR?
For the VR,
$550.
I don't look at those past purchases.
Like you gotta, but you have to look at it compared to the Oculus,
Oh,
the
yeah.
Quest, and everything else.
For the price,
sure,
it's fucking beyond.
Like,
capable.
For the quality of what you get in the PSVR 2 headset is absolutely mind blowing. Y'all don't know.
Oh yeah, I love it. I think it looks great.
People that are out there that are like, oh, but the MetaQuest has pancake lenses and it's better. Like, it's a different type of headset.
Thing, yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, the use case is different. Like, there's no, like, hey, you guys got me triggered because I'm...
Yeah.
yeah. Yes.
Because I'm one of those people that are, that has an Apple Vision Pro, and looks at all these headsets, and I can tell you right now, the Meta headset is made to cost. It's what it is. It's made to be massively distributed. And congratulations to them. They're doing a great job. Like, in terms of spreading VR, like, Meta is a driving force in that industry for sure.
Okay.
But in terms of headset quality, in terms of what the PSVR 2 offers us, dude, I'm surprised Sony even made it for us. Like, to be real with you guys, like, after VR 1 and how, who had a PSVR 1?
I didn't. My cousin did, and I tried it. It was all right. I didn't try Gran Turismo though.
And then you tried it, and you're like, all right, this is cool.
I didn't want to buy it,
but it's like, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Right, dude. The PlayStation VR 2 with the PS5 Pro, it's good enough now. Like, it totally is.
Well, it was good enough. Believe me, it's for me, cost, like, value for money, it is amazing.
Oh, by far. That's why I picked one up right away.
Yeah.
Like
I don't use mine enough. I need to start using it more, but I've got two asshole cats that decide that they want it every time I put it on.
You put it on.
It's the damn cord.
Yeah, every time I put it on, suddenly I've got cats in my footwell, and I don't want to chop off their tail or their feet when I'm jamming on the brakes.
Look at it from the cat's perspective. All of a sudden, like, you're wearing this weird goggle thing, right? And then from that goggle thing, you got these cool dangly lines that are coming off of it that are moving in this hypnotic fashion every time you move.
Yep.
And so, of course, you're going to attract cats. Like,
You're
it's
like,
all
Daddy, let's play.
Yeah. Oh boy, thanks, Daddy, for putting that on. And you can't see me.
Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, it's just crazy, right? The cat's probably looking up and you're like, holy shit.
What's this motherfucker doing today?
They don't see. I'm invisible now. Right?
Exactly.
And then, like, what is this cord? And then.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, it's frustrating because I'm like, I'm going to race in VR tonight. And I put my VR on.
And hell no. All of a sudden you attract cats.
Yep, exactly. Here's just an off-the-wall question.
Sure.
What kind of car or cars do you drive in real life?
Okay. It's a Lexus GS 450H from 2011. Actually, it's featured online. So if you look up Auto Obsessed Garage, you'll see GS 450H performance sedan review done by my friend. So that was the world's first rear-wheel drive performance hybrid on the market. So it's a special car.
Have you done any modifications to it?
I wish I had it.
Oh.
No, actually, I take that back. I'm glad I did. Um, it's all suspension. With the no coils, because coilovers require maintenance. Coilovers are only good for about like 50, 60 to 80,000 miles. I ain't about that life. So it's the springs on OEM shocks. Springs that were designed for the OEM shocks, let me put it that way.
Okay.
And I had to ship that all the way from Japan because they didn't make those for the model here. It's actually a super rare car. There's only like 5,000 or so in the U.S.
Wow.
Or in North America. So it's rarer than a Bentley. So it's a cool hybrid. It's one that has a 2-stage planetary gearbox, so it's not a true CVT. You know, everyone's like, "Oh, CVTs are horrible. Like, it doesn't feel like you're driving a car." Like, well, that's because you haven't driven a Toyota planetary gear CVT. Absolutely amazing. There's a reason why it's a banned transmission for Formula One, and I can see why. If they use CVTs in F1, it'd just be so boring because it's so fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what I drive. It's an older 2011 Lexus GS 450h.
How many miles are on it?
I got 172,000 on it right now.
Ooh, damn.
That's,
Hell yeah.
that's not bad.
But
The age of it's not bad.
the car I had before, Lexus GS 300, the second generation, so
Love those.
the weird bug eye kind of look.
Love them.
That one I took up to 300K and the motor was still spinning super good.
Nice.
And that was the 2JZ. I missed that motor. That was a good motor.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it's a
Toyota
Toyota reliability thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. I took that
mean-
thing to 300,000 and decided to get rid of it, and I wish I didn't.
yeah.
Yes, it
Properly
was,
maintained, they'll just run practically
it was
forever.
just running forever. It was running so
Yeah.
good. So this this
Sequoia got
hybrid,
297, I think. Just under 300,000.
yeah. So this this hybrid that I'm in charge and care of now is one of those classics that's just going to stay in my garage for as long as I can.
That's cool. Oh,
So
what's your dream car?
dream car. I live it out through Gran Turismo. Next question.
Excellent. Yeah. No, that's that. You know what?
So amazing,
That's a fucking awesome answer.
It is.
It is.
That's an awesome answer. My dream car is every car I drive in Gran Turismo is my dream car.
I mean,
That's-
it's just what it is, right? And with VR2 now, you get placed in the car. Like, get out of here.
Yeah,
It's so
That's where it's at
crazy.
for me, man.
yeah,
It is so crazy.
It is.
So how did?
I've done nothing but VR since
Yep.
I got it. I
Yeah,
don't
there's
do
no
flat
going
screen.
back.
No,
There isn't.
no.
Oh,
There
it's-
isn't.
I can't.
It's
I can't
very,
go
very
flat screen.
difficult.
It's too much. I can't do it.
I've had people jump on mine, throw the VR on with the new rig setup and everything, and just be like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever felt." You know,
Yeah,
for
we
driving
used to
simulators,
have to go
anything
to-
like that.
We used to go to freaking arcade or actual like sim centers to get this type of experience, but you can get it at home now. It's crazy.
The
It
best.
is.
So
So
let me ask you this: where did you come up with your online names?
Oh gosh.
Like RL9010. That's not going to make sense to anybody.
Yeah, no one. It doesn't even make sense to me.
Was it one of those? I'm setting up my online account, and they're like, randomly generated.
Well,
name.
I mean, when you're in middle school, right, and you get told like, "Hey, why don't you make a screen name so we can chat?" Right? Like, you're going to choose stupid shit, right?
Okay.
And what I chose was my favorite clothes brand name. Okay, I'm gonna just show my age right now.
Okay.
It's all right.
Back when all this was happening, AIM and all this stuff was that's America Online Instant Messengers for those that don't know. back in the dial-up days. We had devices called pagers, right? And pagers were basically little things that you wore on your belt. Usually doctors wore on their belt, and they would get not even a text message. What would you call that? You'd call it a page.
Yeah, it's just a page.
Just got paged.
And in that page, for all the younger viewers that are watching that don't know, you just got digits, right? You just got numbers sent to you. There's no text. There's no alphanumeric. There's no letters, basically, right? So when you're young, you see this bit of technology, and you're like, I'm going to make a text chatter with this. Well, how the hell do you send texts over a pager? Well, you simply create an alphabet made of numbers, right? So the numbers that are in my screen name, 9010, that's simply pager code for Polo. Do you see it?
Oh, shit. Oh, my gosh. Ralph Lauren Polo. That is so funny.
So...
Okay.
That's amazing.
The reason why I kept it
It's like boobs.
is because when you see the screen name, you're always going to see an American flag next to that screen name. And what is Ralph Lauren Polo's logo?
Oh,
American flag.
It's an American flag
That's awesome.
next to it. So I thought it was funny because back then everyone knew how to read fucking pager code. And so everyone would say, oh, yeah, it's fucking Polo, right?
Oh.
Well, that ancient text language has disappeared for some reason.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
Right.
So now people see 9010, and I'm just like, yeah, man, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
RL9010 simply stands for Ralph Lauren Polo, and then you see an American flag floating in front of you. So
That's
a
funny.
little joke from me,
Oh, that's amazing.
kind of sporting my brand. And then there's
GT Ronin makes sense.
GT Ronin. So that makes more sense because I've been playing Gran Turismo forever, right? And I've never really affiliated myself with a team. So I'm just kind of that lone old warrior that's just roaming around Gran Turismo world that can assassinate you, but I have no lord over me giving me orders.
Oh, yeah, that's
That's
amazing.
that's not a bad.
So that's why I chose Ronin for my secondary account, because non-team affiliated, going around by myself, and
That's great. That's great. Now, how do you feel like how long ago did you start streaming live, and how has your progression of gaining subscribers been, and do you feel like it's progressing at a good rate, or how do you feel it's going?
I think right now is pretty amazing. I think I finally cracked the search algorithm with enough videos daily that I'm getting a lot more viewers come in every single night now. I did start actually. I actually dabbled with it this year throughout, not even that long ago, like April, May. April, May is when I really kind of did stuff through the PlayStation, just straight through the PS5, and did very simple streams, right? And then really in June, July, if you look at my YouTube, really June, July is when I really started to do more daily kind of streams, and I've upgraded my equipment and everything. Because I'm a hardware guy, so streaming, and then on top of that, I'm in professional video broadcast, right? So, starting out was just kind of okay, this is how people do it. And it was more to learn like the other side of the spectrum that I'm working on, because I work on the professional broadcast video side. And then what we're doing here streaming is what I call prosumer streaming. And yeah, really, dude, so it's only been a couple months, less than half a year that I started.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And let's see, let's take a look at
You're
the
at like
account.
339.
Yeah, we have like over 300 right now.
Yeah,
340 right now. So
All
that
right,
went
yeah.
up like 8 subscribers overnight, which is amazing.
Hell
You're
yeah.
welcome.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's all you guys. Oh, dude, those freebies, those don't count. They're freebies.
Now, about what is your current rig for Gran Turismo?
It's all. I just did a video on that, so you can find that on YouTube.
What's your
but
YouTube name? Is
It's
it RL9010?
RL9010. He's super easy to find. So
Awesome.
that stupid screen name that I decided to make when I was in middle school is sticking with me for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So those who are listening, head over there and subscribe and take a look at his setup.
Yep.
Next question is, so what is your favorite Fanatec wheel? Is it the current wheel that you have in the setup video?
The attachment, the M4 GT3 by far is the most solid thing I've ever put my hands on. And I think if it's good enough for a real race car, it's fucking probably good enough for a sim rig.
Yes. Yeah.
But even,
It'll do.
It'll do.
I think the thing you have to realize with these wheels is
Well, name all the wheels that you have.
Sure. So I have the Sparco R383 with podium module, podium rally module on the advanced paddle shifters and quick release 2. We have the podium endurance with the Porsche 911 GT3 wheel. Or I also have an R300 on it right now, so it's a 300 millimeter wheel rim on it right now. We have that M4 GT3 wheel. We have the original blue F1 wheel that came with the base. So I have a total of 1, 2, 4 right now for the Fanatec. Probably too many. Probably 3 too many.
No, I disagree.
No.
I disagree. No,
Maybe not.
Purpose for some.
But I think I'm struggling with the R300 and the 911 GT3 right now in terms of which to use. I have the rims. I actually have a spare Sparco rim too, and tried putting that on too. But just I don't know. The reason for all of these wheels is they're all different diameters. So the size is a little bit different between each rim, and that shit matters when you're attaching yourself to a direct drive motor, because the amount of force that you do on like the Sparco, for instance, which is bigger, the amount of force that goes through it is way different than the R300, which is 30 less millimeters. Like the R300 feels way more direct. Like the smaller the wheel rim is, the more direct the steering is going to feel.
Yep.
Thank you, physics. I mean, that's just a natural thing. Leverage, right? Leverage force is basically what you're doing. So the bigger rim you have, the easier it's going to steer, but you're going to have far less control in my eyes. So the smaller rims do offer you more control, at the sacrifice of some, I guess, leniency.
Comfort.
Yeah.
What size is your BMW wheel?
That is a very particular size. That is a 308 millimeter.
Oh, 308. Okay.
So it's a little bit bigger than 300, not as big as 320. So it's kind of right in that in between. On top of that, since it's full carbon and everything like that, there's zero flex. which is why I got it. It's for the flex, because even some of these Fanatec stuff, like you'll feel some flex, and when you feel flex, you go back to your bolts and you're like, oh, this one just backed out a little bit, right? So you're constantly retightening everything. And if you're not constantly retightening your stuff, you don't play enough.
Right.
And that's just what it is.
I don't play enough.
Like,
fuck.
Yeah, you don't play enough. Fuck. You're just a casual player.
Yep.
Yeah, you're not spending 11 hours on stream.
Damn it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So
Yeah, I run the RS, and then I have the blue
F11.
Yeah, and I use them for two different things. When I'm GT racing, I use my round wheel. When I'm doing anything that's Formula or newer, you know.
Yeah, GT3, like all the stuff with the weird steering wheel, like that's what you're using, right?
Yeah, it's like, so it just depends on what car I'm driving is which wheel I use.
Exactly. It depends on the animation that's in front of you. Because sometimes you're reaching for things that aren't there. Like when I'm on the M4 GT3 wheel and I'm driving a road car, impossible, because I'm reaching for the rim and I'm like, there's nothing here.
Well, I think, going back to VR, the most amazing thing that happened in VR to me, and I tell this story all the time, is doing a race at Interlagos in the Porsche LM car.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a glint of sunlight off my belts.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached down to pull my driving suit over
over the blinding glint.
Yes.
But that didn't go very well.
No, I just reached down and I'm like, wait. Oh, that's right. I'm at home. I'm not in Brazil.
Yeah.
I mean, again, yes, we push the VR for a reason.
Yeah. It's that immersion. It's immersion.
It's the best way to
if you don't have to pay attention to your environment, it's inexpensive.
Let me put it this way. If you're on the verge of getting a next generation television and you just, let's say you're getting a PS5 Pro 2, but your TV can't handle it, but you're a VR player, like the question you have to ask is, how much are you in VR? Because if you're in VR all the time, then you don't need the TV.
Yeah.
You just get the PlayStation 5 Pro and you have that extra hardware overhead to process everything that it needs to.
Yeah. And you know what the funny thing about that is? It is very true. You don't need the TV, because even if people are like, well, what about other gaming? Dude, using the VR headset for other gaming, like in cinematic mode, is unreal too. It's great.
Even if I didn't have
the clarity.
Yeah, even if I didn't have an HDMI 2.1 television, I would have still bought the Pro. Yeah. It's because I'm in VR all the time, and I understand that if you want good visuals on these headsets, you need good hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's what the PS5 Pro gives us, is that good hardware to push the VR to what everyone's going to be like. Okay, this is the comment that we're going to see. Oh, PS5 Pro and VR 2. That's what it should have been when it launched. Is kind of the voice that we're going to hear moving forward. But it just wasn't ready then. So I'm glad we had to wait for the PS5 Pro and the improvements that's come, because otherwise we wouldn't have it.
Well, and back then, how much more would have cost? What would the cost to have been? That's another thing that, again, people don't think about is cost.
Probably $1,000.
Because dude, we have freaking OLED displays in these things. You guys realize that? Yeah. There's small OLED panels in the VR too. Yeah. And people are like focused on the type of lens that is being used. It's like ridiculous. Like, yes,
it's like, I'll play Call of Duty with the VR on. It's fucking amazing. It's better than the TV.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
It is.
That's really hardcore.
That's straight up cinematic view in the headset. That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll dip into some of the controversies that we are always dealing with.
Oh, love it.
And it's okay. So with PlayStation updates, yes, they're free,
Yes.
and you've got to love that.
Yeah.
So
how can you hate that?
Now the question is this: we've always said we would pay for extra content, like specialized content. We would pay for new race cars. We would pay for tracks. We would, because we already do with the Assetto Corsa, and we don't race it that much, but we still do all of the we do the paid for content.
Every DLC, we buy
because it's newer
we're
tracks,
idiots.
newer cars. Yes,
Sure.
because we're stupid.
Dumb guy.
But I mean, how do you feel personally about, like, not like when Gran Turismo 7 originally came out, where it was all microtransactions and you know, in order to buy a car, you're spending,
you could
$200 for a car.
You could spend $200 if you wanted it. If you wanted the car now,
right?
You could have.
But the game always was, catered for grinding. That's kind of what Gran Turismo is.
Right, and it's always been that way. Now, the question is, would you personally pay for content if you got upgraded cars? We got all the, LMH, all the LMH cars.
Well,
we get the new GT3s. We get, all of that.
You're talking to a Japanese man that's going to be talking about a Japanese company, Polyphony Digital.
No, and that's the reason. And that's the reason I'm asking you, because you come from a different position compared to us.
I mean, I would love to do something like that, but in their eyes, they would say, "Why? We give it to you for free."
Because we want
exactly though.
But we want, like, what's the newest race car? Like,
sure. Okay. Let's say for one instance, licensing fees aren't a thing, right?
Right, exactly.
Because that's the reason why we have the cars that we have, right?
Right.
It's
exactly.
it's a licensing agreement. So when we're like, oh, Chevy doesn't have too many cars or whatever, it's because Chevy didn't release those cars. It's not Polyphony Digital. They probably asked, and they were like, oh, it's going to cost you $2 million to get that license, right?
Well, and it's not just $2 million. It's $2 million plus whatever is in the contract.
Yeah, whatever they have set up in those corporate contracts.
Right.
Which are horrendous. Like you got.
Yes.
I don't even want to get into that stuff.
Lawyers. Lawyers. That's the problem there.
I mean, that stuff is just like, you have someone, their sole job is to go over that one agreement.
Right.
Right. So how do I feel about being able? I'd love to be able to purchase stuff. I tell you right now, it's not going to happen. Not with Polyphony Digital, because that's just not how they work.
Right.
And their voice would just be like, well, fuck you, because I'm giving all of you these updates for free. Now you're telling me you want to pay for them, but we're giving it to you for free. It's a different. They view business in a different way, right?
Yeah.
And I talked to some of the Polyphony team when I saw them at a conference. The artist that made the M3, actually, the E36. I met her because she saw me. She saw me wearing a Gran Turismo sweatshirt because I'm just a Gran Turismo diehard nut. So when I go to these conferences, I was, and this was a digital video kind of animation type conference, so creators conference for the professionals, right? And I happen to have the Gran Turismo sweatshirt on, and then I see this girl with a Gran Turismo like puffer. I'm just like, damn, I've never seen that jacket available for sale ever, right? Of course, it's a in-house Polyphony Digital jacket that they get for working there. Anyways, I digress. What were we talking about?
She was an artist that did the
That, sorry, old age, guys. It's starting to happen. But anyways, just talking with her, dude, all the staff wants to hear is that we're having such a fun time with the game. And she was absolutely blown away that I was streaming the game, let alone playing every single day. Like, that stuff blows their mind, right? And they're just super happy to see us having so much fun with it. And that's all it is, right? They're just proud of their work. So when you ask me pay for more content, I say think of the poor artists that are being driven by whips, because they're working their ass off over there at Polyphony Digital. They're nonstop. In fact, all of the car models were already modeled in 8K before Gran Turismo 7 was launched.
Damn.
Wow.
That's insane.
Okay.
So in terms of, playing this game in 8K.
More, though?
Well, I mean, the hardware can't handle it, right? The current gen hardware. Thanks, PlayStation 4. all of us PlayStation 4 Gran Turismo 7 players. Thanks a lot, guys. You guys really limited the game. It's the only reason why we're limited to like 16 cars and lobbies and stuff like that.
Okay.
Is so that you people on the PlayStation 4 can still play Gran Turismo 7 online with us people with the PlayStation 5s and Pros.
So I just went onto my friends list. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that are on my friends list that are still on PS4.
And that's okay. I'm not going to say that it's. I mean,
we need.
We're not going to get that support now that the game's out. So it's okay to be on PS4 now. It wasn't okay when the game launched. Fuck you guys. That was me too. But that was me too. I was on PlayStation 4 when it launched, and I was happy actually at that time because that allowed us to play. And that's the only reason why. It's for player numbers, and so that we could get all these lobbies. If it were a pure PS5 game like it was supposed to be, the player base would be so much smaller.
Right.
And at the end of the day, it's a business. So
in all of this, we also say this. Gran Turismo is the only racing game that after a couple of hours of having to, grind out menu books, you can hop on and be online.
Oh,
and after that, you can be online all the time.
Don't talk to me about plug and play. I mean, this, people, it's ever since I've started streaming, I get people come on every once in a while and be like, hey man, what about PC? Right. And my answer to them is, well, yeah, if PC were easy to set up and I didn't have to do a million setting configurations and figure out the hardware that I'm using compared to like what everyone else is using that these settings are for, like, it's too finicky. I feel like PC racing gaming, about 80% of the time is spent setting up.
Yes,
and
I
then
completely agree with that.
20% of the time is spent driving. And then at that last, 1% of that driving time, it's like, oh shit, it's glitching. Right? Like, oh, frame drops or whatever. Like, it's just not a smooth experience in my eyes.
I agree, because even on console,
I completely agree.
With the games like ACC, there's so much setup and configuration for cars themselves, and even your steering.
Yeah, I mean, once
stuff have to be done for different cars and stuff, and you get into a race, it's like, all right, I'm done. Fuck this. I want to go play GT.
Yeah, but by the time you get everything set up, you realize you set it up wrong.
Yeah. And you're just frustrated and tired of it.
And you're just like, okay, yeah, this was fun. And then you're like, oh shit, I've only spent 20 minutes on track, 20 minutes driving the car, and it still doesn't feel right, right? That's why I love Gran Turismo, because it's such a plug and play experience.
My example is I got iRacing when it was cheap. and I hopped
when
on,
it was
and I'm
cheap.
Like,
I
So-
still haven't got iRacing because I know that shit's a money hole. Anyways, go ahead.
so at the time it was $55 for the year.
Oh man,
And
that's
I'm
a
like-
ripoff. Okay.
I'm like, okay, that's better than the $110 a year it is now.
That's true.
Plus buying all cars, plus buying
Yep.
more tracks,
Yeah.
plus everything else, right?
Yep. They're still
So-
trying to entice me with 3 free months.
Yeah. Well, this is great. So I get in. I'm like, set up, all right? Steering wheel is set up. Okay. Plug my pedals in, start to do that. It recognized my brake working backwards. My brake was on all the time.
Oh yeah. Just got to
What if
invert
I
it.
would? Yeah, so I push it in, and then the brake comes off. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck is going on here? And yeah, got to go in. Oh, it's not set up to do. Oh, so I got to go in there, do
Mm-hmm.
this. Oh, I have to unplug my hard, plug it back in, restart the game. Oh, then do it like
PC
this.
Master Race. Yes.
Yeah, the problem with PC gaming in general is
There's too much to set up.
50% of the time the
Yeah,
shit doesn't work, and you're like, why?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I don't know. Like the computer's like, I don't know why. It's not
'Cause-
working. Sorry.
Because you have one outdated driver.
Yeah. It's
or
like
your computer that you spent thousands of dollars on last year, like all of a sudden cannot handle what you're doing.
yeah, exactly. No, my boyfriend got the new Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Got the new Silent Hill. He's got a fairly good gaming computer, and I mean they've done some updates to the fit and finish of the game, but it's still not that impressive. And he has issues with frame rates, issues with juddering, issues with everything.
Yeah, of course.
And that's and it's like there is nothing that you can do that makes it better.
You buy a brand new computer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Yeah, I can go down and spend $2,000 on a new.
No, that's your
game.
problem. You're spending only $2,000 on
spend
computer.
six.
No wonder you're
That's what it is. Yeah, it's crazy.
you got to
It's
spend
like
in order to future-proof yourself, really, you have to spend at least $4,000 to $5,000 on a PC.
Jesus.
that's just insane. That's just insane.
Yeah, I'll buy the
But that's-
$700 console.
Even that's only going to be good for a little while too.
Or you could buy yourself a $700 console. That's
Yep.
in the end. That's what it comes down to.
That's what it comes down to. And like, what are you really going to use that console, and what are you going to use that PC for? Mainly, it's for gaming, right? Why not buy hardware that's designed for gaming?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's an idea. I don't know if it'll catch on, but
Probably not.
yeah.
No, I mean it's
It did with
it's
me.
just always so weird. It's always so weird that computer gamers are like, it's the best.
But
It's the best.
Let's,
I'm like,
there's
yeah.
there's always going to be those two camps, right? There's always going to be PC versus console. There's always going to be this argument about which is the superior hardware. I'll tell you right now, the superior hardware is the one that's been released the latest,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that's all it is. So in terms of the console, we are at peak PlayStation 5 right now, and then there's nothing else that's going to come out after this.
Right.
PC, shit. My PC that I spent a freaking $4,000 on this past year, at the early part of the year, yeah, it's spec'd out to do everything, but then shit, there's a new graphics card right around the corner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never ending. Hardware upgrades will be never ending. So if you ask me, always buy hardware that will future proof yourself to a degree. And yes, it's going to be more expensive today, but tomorrow it's going to cost you a lot less money.
Right.
And that's the thought process that you need to have with these
Well,
electronics.
that's the thing is you do things like that with PC, and like you said, future-proof yourself. You don't have to worry about tomorrow. You have to worry about next week or week after that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because you're kind of ahead of the game a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Final Gran Turismo question.
Oh,
Just-
already? Come on, we could stay all day.
Yeah.
I streamed for
So-
like 11 hours,
Right?
boys. This is nuts.
This is going to be Rogan length.
So
Let's go.
let me ask you this: when do you predict we'll see the next Gran Turismo title? Whether it's GT8 or a
Sport.
or a sport or a sport
You
2
couldn't.
or
Honestly, you couldn't give me an easier question. Like,
Ooh.
we're going to see it in December.
What?
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 Yeah,
What?
there's going to be a free demo out for us. It's called My GT. My First GT is what it's called. It's going to be out in December. So that's when the next version is coming out.
What?
And the purpose of this is to replicate. The purpose of this software, from what my understanding, is to give us the feeling of what we felt when we played our very first Gran Turismo. What that means, I have no idea, because the Gran Turismo now is freaking amazing. But it's going to be a free demo launched holiday season this year, 2024. And it's probably going to be positioned as a marketing tool to get more players to play Gran Turismo 7, which is great because we always want an increased player
More
base.
players. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I'm tired of seeing you motherfuckers on track every single time.
Oh, too funny.
But
it's true though.
Will it be
I think it's going to be more single player focused, to be honest with you.
All right.
Because it's my first Gran Turismo, which was never online. So it's definitely going to be more career orientated, I think.
So what do you think about a full game, like massive game like GT7?
Oh, like Gran Turismo 8.
Yes.
Yeah, because my first Gran Turismo is pretty much, think of that as like a prologue or GTHD kind of bridging software to give us a peek of what next gen might be. But the next version.
Are we talking
PS6.
I mean,
5 to 10 years from now?
I'd tell you, but then you'd have to pay the retainer.
Ooh.
Oh.
Start a
Okay.
GoFundMe.
Awesome.
Start a
I'm
GoFundMe. I'll pay
I'm
you.
just kidding. I have. You really? The retainer is over $1 million.
There you go.
Get that GoFundMe
Sean.
going.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. For the next Gran Turismo to come along, I think it's going to deserve new hardware.
Okay.
So PS6.
And we just got the Pro. So I don't expect to see Gran Turismo 8 for another 4 to 5 years.
Okay.
But when it does come out, I'll probably be the first one to buy it.
Yeah, me too.
That includes freaking console price.
Yep.
I mean, unfortunately, we're locked into the ecosystems that we choose, right? Mm-hmm. I had a Thrustmaster ecosystem, and now I'm locked into a Fanatec ecosystem. Like, this PlayStation ecosystem is just going to continue. Mm-hmm. And I don't mind because it's good quality stuff, man. Like, it's not like the Xbox where it's basically a glorified PC. I mean, you can play Xbox games on PC now, right?
Yeah.
Can't you?
Yes.
Xbox Live?
Yep.
Like, hello, Xbox, you've just been buying a glorified PC. Oh, did I say that?
See, I
Yeah, I'm a
play.
PlayStation guy.
My PlayStation. See, I PlayStation and Xbox, but I use them for different reasons.
For sure. I'm pretty sure you use your Xbox like a PC.
I use my Xbox to play Call of Duty and those kinds of games, and I use my PlayStation to race on.
Yeah, you use the PlayStation for the more graphic intensive stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I don't know. If you ask me, I'm sorry. Yes, I am a Sony fanboy. It's one of those things. You choose your products according to your experiences.
Right.
And Sony has been that experience for me. So yeah, nothing against Xbox, but if you look at what they've done with their platform as of late, I don't hear any console hype anymore. It's pretty much go buy
hype.
Yeah, it's pretty much go buy a PC.
Yep.
So it's just like, Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I think they just released a digital edition of the Series X, and it's white.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no point. I'd
Yeah.
rather buy a Pro.
Yep. Same.
Updated hardware is the PlayStation 5 Pro. It's the best gaming console out there right now.
Yep.
Why are people fighting it? It blows my mind.
Yep.
It's,
I don't
well,
know. I think it's mainly
it's-
price. I think people are just.
No, I
shocked.
think it's mainly price too.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly just a price thing. But like I said, we just went through a chip shortage.
Yeah.
Everyone, did everyone forget?
But even still, the price is not that much. Look at PlayStation
Dude, yeah,
4
honestly.
came out, and PlayStation 4 Pro came out. It was.
Does anyone
the same
remember
thing.
the PlayStation 3 price when that was first launched? That was like $700.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
It's always
Well,
like that.
again,
even the it's retarded.
it goes.
Like that.
It prices come down. Todd got all pissed off.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm
Oh,
not.
lost Todd.
Good. Why did you make him mad?
I might have triggered him with the Xbox comment.
Right.
Good job, Terry. Good job. Now he's all pissed. It comes down to the fact that people are. I understand financially.
Oh, he's back.
If you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Well, we'll stop talking about him then. If financially you can't afford it, I understand that. Fucking save your money and buy it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're still playing on a PS4 with the prices of PS5s now,
Oh yeah,
if
they're
you're
dropping.
still playing on a PS4, you just get the Pro.
Right.
Screw.
Yeah.
Like if you can afford it. Like I'm sorry, I'm not being sensitive.
you don't have to be on our show.
Oh,
We're
great.
not like that.
You
We're not
fucking
like
poors.
that.
Why don't you spend some money?
They could just go steal it like they steal everything else.
No. That's you. No. Let's not push that narrative because we've seen what
they
happens.
will.
Because
Right?
we've seen
No
what
shit.
happened in California.
And then I'm gonna get sued.
If you're light on crime.
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Let's not.
There,
Oh shit! Let's not get into that. I might lose my job.
Yeah, come to Portland.
Oh,
fuck.
Let's go to Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's
Shit.
just hang out in downtown PDX
Yep.
and you tell me what you see.
Oh yeah.
No, I don't want to step in shit or get
Watching
beaten up
people
by a
wash their
drug dealer.
holes in the water
Oh
fountain.
crap! You guys get that? You guys get that up there too? That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I work in Central Southeast, so it's basically downtown Portland.
Oh man, yeah.
Now they're allowed to drag around these little shitty houses on four casters. And they pull them. Oh yeah, they're these little houses that are on
like tough
casters.
sheds.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, only not that tough because they're shitty homeless houses, and they pull them all around. There are two parked down the street from my work right now.
What?
And last night when we went to the show, I'm like, let's not park here because those are two homeless vehicles. Oh, don't park in this parking lot because those are four homeless vehicles.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's park over here in this yellow zone and hopefully, I know parking police isn't going to be coming by, so let's just park over here because, it's a little bit further away from the, easily broken into, whether it's a little less easily broken into. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy here. And then we just voted in a more liberal mayor.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know what
that's-
Portland's doing. I'm
that's-
glad I
that's
don't
on
live
you
down
guys.
there. I'm glad I don't
yeah.
live in that area.
Dude, I am glad I don't live in Portland.
Right?
I live,
Oh,
I
yeah,
live south
fuck
of Portland, but traveling into Portland is just
It's getting scarier. That's all it
yes.
is.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like if we go out to the clubs, we always Uber.
Well, that's your first problem is going to the clubs.
Well, you gotta go to the clubs and get your dance on sometimes.
Well,
Not me.
Well, then why are you going to the clubs?
Because my boyfriend wants to go and dance, and I enjoy a beverage, even if it's overpriced.
Yeah, I was going to
$20
say, I was
each.
just paying you off for that beverage.
Right?
But it's it's one of those things. Yeah, it's crazy here. It was weird because Sacramento, going down there and seeing what it was from 2020 was the last time I had been down there. And it was awful. Like, it was dangerous.
Yeah, pre-pandemic.
So it went
pre-pandemic.
Dude, it was
yeah.
dangerous.
I could see that.
Walking from my buddy's house, my buddy Rob's house, 5 blocks down to where the dance clubs were there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
straight up downtown.
Yeah, like there was literally, we're walking down the block and this homeless lady comes up and she's like, "Give me money," and I'm like, "No, I'm not giving you money." And then
I give you head.
Yeah, she give me something, but I'm like, "No, get out of here." And then she and this dude start following us.
Yeah. That's scary stuff.
And I just turned around and I said, "I will punch you square in the face if you don't stop following us." And she's like, "Oh, I'll get you arrested." I was like, "They'll never find the body." So she finally, she walked away. But that's the way it was. That's how it is still in Portland.
Right.
It's still that way in Portland.
I feel it, especially the downtown area if you're walking around.
Dude, and it used to be.
But honestly, honest conversation. That's every major metropolitan city.
Yeah.
Except Denver.
Oh yeah, because it's too cold.
Yeah, there's no one in Denver. I was shocked. There's no homeless in Denver. It was crazy. I was like walking around expecting to find something. I literally walked to the scariest part of town to find something.
Nothing.
There was nothing.
That doesn't surprise me.
I was like, oh shit, Denver feels pretty safe.
That's wild. That's wild. Shit, I don't know where to go from here.
Ooh, I got one more.
We could just stay and talk all day. I don't care.
Do you think they'll make another sport, or do you think it's just going to be, into Gran Turismo 8, or do you think they'll do another sport, where it's just like online?
I think a lot of this is hinging upon the release of the demo that comes out this December. And I think a lot of what they're doing right now is gathering information on what we want to see, right? Because I'm pretty sure Polyphony Digital launched Gran Turismo 7 and was like, finally, we have a game that touches everyone. We have like the sports section, which we did like a hardcore multiplayer Gran Turismo Sport. And all GT Sport was a test so that we get smooth gameplay in GT7. That's all it was. It was a network test, right? Because all you could do really in GT Sport was play online.
Yeah, online.
It was literally
great.
Yeah, that's all we.
They literally just gave us the multiplayer mode for like a generation of game, and we ate it up, right? Because that wasn't in my eyes, GT Sport wasn't a true Gran Turismo.
No.
That was more of a. Listen, we're going to give you the online feature, but only the online feature.
And race.
And we'll see how it goes, right? And we see the same things that were implemented in sport in Gran Turismo 7 in sport mode. Wow.
Yeah.
Right. So next full game, like I said, next console generation.
Dude,
the next.
Insane.
I mean, so the next thing that we're going to get is this My First GT in December. That's going to, I have a feeling it's going to be more single player focused. What they're going to do is try and get all the voices that they hear, all the complaints that they hear, right? And try and fix that stuff for the next generation. I'm pretty sure they've already started. There's no way you can't start.
Yeah.
Can't not start on that next generation. So we're going to continue to get, patches and updates. But I'm pretty sure on the back end they're already working on up-resing all those car models and everything like that, because it's set for 8K. But what's beyond 8K?
Yeah,
people are saying more resolution, but I'm going to say it's going to be more frame rate once we hit 8K.
That's what I would think. Because 8K. 4K looks amazing. I don't know how you could get
4K looks amazing.
Any better?
4K 120 looks amazing, right?
Right.
But 8K 120 looks like 4K 60.
Oh wow.
So in order for us to get like that 120 hertz experience that we're just going to get spoiled with for this next couple of years, and then 8K is going to come out and everyone's going to be, it doesn't look as good as 4K. Trust me, we're going to hear that.
That's what people do.
Right.
That's what people do.
That makes me so upset because I'm in this like forefront of video, right?
Yeah,
and I'm hearing all the naysayers, and I'm just like, well, in a couple of years you'll turn around, and sure enough they do. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: who's your favorite manufacturer in Gran Turismo?
In Gran Turismo,
yeah.
I'm super happy we have Porsche.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Man,
Porsche hasn't been around in GT until 7. We had roof and stuff like that, but that I mean,
yeah, it's not the same.
those are crazy vehicles, right? We finally got like a Carrera. We had a 92 Carrera. Get out of here, dude! Like 95 Carrera RS. What? Are you serious? Like, it has to be Porsche.
I agree.
So
because we haven't had it before.
Who do you choose? Who do you choose for manufacturers?
It's Porsche.
Oh.
See.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just.
It's awesome in VR.
Oh
it
yeah.
Is one of the best cars.
It's and the reason why it's awesome in VR is because it looks like a car. It's not a. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a freaking race car driver. Like, you put me in a GT2 car, it's like, holy shit, I'm in a fucking race car, right?
Yeah.
You put me in a GT3 Porsche, I'm like, oh, I'm driving a Porsche, right? Like, the feeling's different, and VR is way, like, you can't get us in a Citroen, no way.
No,
you're not getting me in a BMW VGT. So no, I don't like riding on the roof.
Right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right? I hated that.
So it changed. Like VR changes the preferences of cars in the game. I think.
Oh, big time.
The Supra now.
Big time.
Hate the Supra.
Yeah, the Supra.
And the crazy thing is, I'm having a hard time with right-hand drive versus left-hand drive now. I'm finding I'm finding that being more of a problem than it should. But it's a thing. It's how we drive, right? So
well,
it's so funny you say that because that's my biggest thing too with VR is left, right.
You choose based upon which side of the steering wheel's on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we chose the NSX Honda. For manufacturers.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't mind the car. It's a super stable platform, but it's not fast.
Right.
And poor Mike is like, I'm driving on the wrong side of the car. It is.
It just feels weird.
I cannot get used to this.
Yeah, because all my turn in, my visual points in VR, everything was different.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like going like left or right, depending on the corner, depending what curb you take.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my body was not used to going over the grass or something like that on a corner. So I would be putting myself at the apex.
Right.
Instead of be putting over 5 feet to the right or whatnot or to the left.
That's
you know what I mean?
that's why Suzuka's so hard, right?
Yeah.
Because you have Suzuka Turn 1, which is suited for right-hand drive, right? Because you always want to be on the inside of the corner when you're turning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you get to spoon in a right-hand drive car. And then you're just like, fuck. The fastest corner on the track that I have to nail, I'm on the freaking wrong side of the car, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm having some of those issues every once in a while.
My biggest thing so far was Road Atlanta in the Honda.
I got straight into a left-hand drive car on that one.
Yeah, normally that's me, but I went into we chose Honda and got to that race, and I was just wasn't horrible, but it was like
it does something to your mind.
Yeah, it was. Just,
you're hitting the wrong apex curbs. All of a sudden, instead of like a portion of the car, you got half the car over the curb.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's the difference. It's just slow. We're talking about like a couple meters, but a couple meters in Gran Turismo like makes a huge difference.
Oh
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
it's a game of meters. Yeah.
Whereas it's funny, before VR had no problem, didn't matter. It was just the stability of the platform, the car. It didn't matter right, left.
Yeah, because you're
driving your bumper cam or your whatever, right? So
yeah, because you have that perfect camera, right? That centered camera, where the edge of the gauges are the sides of your car, right? So you have perfect visual reference as far as where you are on track. fuck, you put an A-pillar in front of you, all of a sudden you're like, oh, fuck, I can't see.
Yep.
Yeah. Leaning around.
That's why you'll never see VR players in a Citroen unless you're Moscafi.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Like, unless you're like crazy into VR, like crazy into VR, and you're like, I want a challenge, then you'll get into Citroen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Oh,
Can't
that
do
much
it.
of a challenge.
Yeah, I've never driven that car in VR.
Oh yeah, I'm just telling you right now. There's no point. You could go try it. Go try it, and you'll be like, oh fuck, Terry knows what he's talking about.
Oh man. Ooh, another one. Do you think they'll end up ending the support for PS4 and Gran Turismo 7 eventually? Or do you think they'll
no
until 6 comes out?
I mean, thanks a lot, PlayStation 4 owners.
Yeah.
No,
Slowing us
you guys
down.
are holding us back.
That's right.
They are.
If we can, okay, let me put it this way. If I were the master and I can choose everything, I would have all the PlayStation 4 owners upgrade to PS5 or PS5 Pro. Holy shit, is that what Sony's trying to do?
Right. Well, yeah, with the my first GT coming out and the price drop of the PS5, and then they can they see that on their end? Who's playing on what?
Well, trust you me, they know exactly what
good.
console you're playing on, how many hours you're playing, where you're playing from, if you're making another sub account, if you're running people off track, they know all that stuff.
Oh, I love it. Well, that's good because then that push. Oh shit, we got so many still on the 4. We're dropping the price of the 5. If they don't want the Pro, they can move up easier.
Honestly speaking, all the
24 car lobbies, maybe.
Yep, all the daily races and stuff that we're doing, logging on and playing, we're giving them player data. We're showing them what is popular, right? We're telling Polyphony Digital, yes, this event is awesome. That's why you have an increase of players right now. Why do you think we get the same tracks every single time?
Gotcha. Because I'll tell you, this last week's Group C, man, I've been playing the shit out of that.
Everyone logs on and plays those particular tracks, right? And when they launch an event where it's like an off-the-wall track that's like a daily A and no one plays it, and then we're just like, we don't get Alsace as a daily race because, like, they've never done it. They've always done the Suzuka-Fuji combo all the time. All Spa combo all the time. Well, it's because that's when people log on and play.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all about getting player numbers, right? It's not about pleasing that single Gran Turismo nut that's out there playing by himself, right?
Right.
Oh fuck, that's me. That's me.
Because we feel like they cater to the single player a little bit more than the online.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
how do they prioritize?
Yeah.
So with sport, they've been prioritizing online play. They've realized that only like 1/3 of the players are playing sport mode, and they're trying to change that, right?
Okay, good.
Well, how are they going to change it? They're going to set up the most popular tracks that people play.
Right.
And then you got all the hardcore players being, oh, there's not enough track variety because they did the same layout like 4 months ago. It's like, well, yeah, because like the players that aren't you are logging on and playing when those events come up.
Yeah.
Like whenever Nürburgring is a daily race, I guarantee you I'm playing sport mode.
Yep.
Whenever it's not, shit, I'm doing other stuff. Like, it really depends.
Yeah. When the week's not good, I'll do the challenges and stuff like that. If the week's not good,
right.
On the
Like,
dailies.
and guess what? Polyphony sees all of that because everything is online, right? You have to log on to play now, so they know your playing habits.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I gotta say, like, I can take that because they have been better in the last few months.
The dailies have been great.
They're trying so hard to give us the events that people want, and you have people that are sitting back, and of course they're the fucking ones with the loudest mouth, yelling and screaming like that. We're not getting like Gran Turismo sucks. They're not doing anything for us. Like bullshit. They've been doing so much for us for that $70 that we gave them
True.
like 2 years ago.
I know
right?
they still
And they're
charge 70.
they're still giving us brand new shit. We're getting brand new Porsches this week, boys.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Like-
2 of them.
Like we're finally going to get a whale tail turbo. It's freaking amazing.
are we
and
gonna
how
get
much did
one
this-
race car? You think one race car?
Maybe not. I don't know. All I know is
Tell them I want.
all
a new
I know
race
is there's
car.
a Porsche coming.
right.
Yeah,
Um,
and there's new hybrid supercar, hypercar.
and
That one.
you know, people. Okay, can we talk about Vision Gran Turismo? Can we talk about that stuff?
No,
Alright.
of course not. Yes, of course you can talk about
Fuck
it
yeah.
all the
All
time.
right, let's
Shoot it.
let's talk about Vision Gran Turismo and how much people hate those cars.
I like some of them.
But the majority of the player base, I think,
Yeah.
the majority of the player base are like, I don't need these freaking fantasy cars, right? Do you realize how amazing those Vision Gran Turismo cars are?
Dude, the Lamborghini one's the shit. That's the one I love
And
the
I-
most.
And I'm not talking about us playing with them. I'm talking about a video game company approaching a car company and saying, "Hey, I want you to sacrifice your best design team and make me your fantasy car, and we'll make it into real life." And these car companies take their most talented designers and say,
Yeah, they
"Hey,
do. They
Mm-hmm.
I want you to work on this Gran Turismo project for a little bit," right?
do take it serious.
Dude, that shit is fucking amazing.
Hell yeah.
And to see these branded cars with the manufacturers actual vision, it's pretty surprising.
Well, I'm surprised McLaren actually made one to sell. That's McLaren Solus. Is that what it's called? Is their Vision
yeah,
Gran
it's
Turismo
basically
car?
a VGT
Yeah, in
McLaren,
real life.
right?
You can
Yep.
buy.
Same
if you're
thing
a
with
millionaire.
the Bugatti.
Yeah.
Bugatti Vision GT is a car too.
I was just gonna say, like, I got into that for the Nations and in VR. I couldn't. I'm blown away in general, just being able to drive in VR. Like, it's just an amazing thing. But when I got into that Bugatti, I was just like, holy shit! Like, just like you're sitting there, you can see like the rear view mirror, inside mirror screen. Like,
That's
like
where all car technology is going now. It's
like
all
it just felt amazing.
yeah.
And then, but the weirdest thing I was blown away by, it was like, it felt like a car, but it was just so fucking goddamn big. Like, I looked over and it was like a giant bathtub beside me. Like, it was just like, holy shit! Like, I couldn't believe.
Yeah, that's
You know
why I
what
didn't
mean?
drive
Like,
it.
Yep.
It's
Audi.
It felt
the vision though. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. Like the day one when I first put the VR and took a drive in the Porsche. You know, like I was just like, holy crap! I'm in a fucking Bugatti. Like, this is amazing looking.
You're not in
vision was
just any Bugatti. You're in the vision that Bugatti thinks they're going to be in the future,
Yeah.
right? Which is why I'm upset at Chevrolet, because their fucking concepts are garbage.
Yeah.
I got.
Well, why don't we have the new C8 and shit race car?
Again, it's licensing.
Yeah.
It's all boils down to licensing and what the car companies want to
But
portray.
How's Forza getting all this shit?
Well, it
I think
all
they're
comes
in with
down to
IMSA.
having. Okay. Let's back up real quick.
Break it down for me, yes.
Well, I'll break it down. I'll break it down into business terms. And this might be a little racist, so maybe I shouldn't say.
No, you're good.
Yes.
Go. Shoot it.
Yes.
But anyways,
Shoot your shot.
Imagine you're a car company, right? And you get approached by you're an American car company. You get approached by an American company, and they come in and they can speak English perfectly, and you're like, okay, yeah, we want to make a car. And you take that meeting, right? Imagine taking that same meeting with a group of 10 Japanese men that have a hard time kind of expressing exactly what they want, right? So they have a translator with them, right? Which meeting are you going to take?
They're taking the easier one. They're taking the easy one.
They're taking the Xbox route all the way, 100%. And it's buddy. You know, it's it all boils down to business relationships, what we get in this game. And it's crazy to think that, but that's what it is. It all boils down to one person visiting a company one day and saying, hey, I got an idea. You guys down? Like, let me see if we can devote resources for this, right? Like, it's not cheap. These Vision Gran Turismo cars, I can guarantee you, they're not cheap. They're not cheap to make. They're not cheap to design. The amount of time and work hours that they took away from the car designers, like, probably put the car industry back a couple years. Yeah, it's
Dirty Americans.
I think
that's what I'd say.
I think it boils down to the business relationship and negotiation skills of the teams that are doing the licensing. And I have a feeling the team at Polyphony Digital is Japanese.
Well, it's so weird that we get the C8 road car, but we don't get the C8 GT3. But I mean, in the end, it is what it is, and we're stuck with what we get.
At the end of the day, we're stuck with what the car companies want us to see.
Yeah.
Well, I was just going to say is, like, what if, like you said there, that it's easier to deal with Americans for, like, Chevy than to deal with Japanese and that lost in translation issue. Why they also possibly sign that agreement with, like, Forza, so that it's like we're the only ones that can have this.
Well, let's be honest.
Well.
The people
maybe,
making
maybe that's part of the legal battle. Is like you can't license this out to our competition as well.
Honestly, the people doing all the licensing stuff, they have no idea what they're licensing in the first place.
It's just words on paper.
Yeah, it's a totally different type of job.
Let me ask you about penalty system.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Penalty system.
So the penalty system it doesn't make anybody happy. Like,
of course not. It never will.
So the question is, I guess
it's gotten way better.
It is better. It is better. Yes. What could be done to improve it, in your opinion?
They've been trying so hard to figure this out. I think you need dedicated AI to have 100% fairly judged penalty system. The console can't do it. There's no way there's enough processing power in the console to do, which is why Sophie is freaking amazing. Have you guys tried Sophie?
Yeah, I've tried it. It's good.
It's amazing. I actually have an official paper about Gran Turismo Sophie and what they found. When I talked to the engineers behind GT Sophie when I met them at a Sony event. Crap, I'm old. What are we talking about?
Sophie,
Penalties.
AI penalty system.
Penalty system, yeah. So
Console can.
I think
I'll be right back. Sorry, I just got to take a.
Yeah, go for it.
no worries.
Continue on.
I think the penalty system right now, as it is the best that we've had so far. And everyone's going to complain about the penalty system because there's always going to be instances where it gets it wrong. And those people that are wronged at that time are going to complain. I am one of those people that will complain if I am wronged by the penalty system. It's just one of those things, right? But think about what they're trying to analyze. You're analyzing two objects traveling at speed, and you're trying to determine who's at fault in a particular situation. You know how many variables are involved in that? It's a shit ton. Yeah. So penalty system is so hard. The key is to be a driver so that you drive so that you don't get those penalties. But you can't control the people around you, which is why this penalty system exists, right? Let's see. To avoid a bad penalty system, get better.
Yep.
That's all there is to it. You just have to increase your racecraft, I think. And it's identifying who's going to hit you as much as, where you're going on track. You have to identify where other people are going on track. And I think that's the hardest thing to process as a driver, is to change that thought process and think about the other guy sitting next to you on the left side of the track when you have a right-hander coming up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to give each enough space to get through. Like a Jermaine and I on that last corner of freaking Monza yesterday, freaking amazing, side by side. Yes, there was a little contact, but I think it was more racing incidental contact than anything, because we were both turning as hard as we could.
So yeah, I this last week was in my third account mostly.
Mm-hmm.
It's really strange, because my mindset when I go into my third account is it's a B account, and I keep it at a B account on purpose.
Sure, you're one of those. Okay.
So I go in and race from the back, but it's always to. A lot of times it's to watch the other players. It's also get. It's also to get used to those people that aren't skilled. So I
call them overambitious.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
This is the weird thing, though. As I've been playing in the B lobbies, lately the B lobbies have been,
cleaner,
way cleaner than the A plus and high A lobbies.
Do you know why? I have a theory on that.
I think I have. Okay, let's hear your theory, and then I have one of my own.
Sure. My theory is there's a lot of A plus and A drivers out there that don't deserve that rank.
I agree.
And that's why I say that. Fundamentally, DR is a problem because you can increase your DR if you play a lot.
Yeah, if you grind.
And if you DR grind, and we see this on the internet, we see this with YouTube streamers too. They're like, "Oh yeah, this week's going to be a DR grind week," and they're just going to boost their rating.
Right.
I think a lot of those A plus A drivers that have that. I think a lot of the A plus drivers that have that A plus rating are simply DR grinders, and they're just on sport mode all the time. And of course, you're going to get good. Of course, you're going to get fast at a track if you're playing 1 week at a time, every single day for 2-3 hours a day on that same track, same combination, and that's how they play, right? So I think Gran Turismo is split up into two sets of groups, right? You have the sport mode players that are incessantly on the daily races every single day, and those are the guys that I guarantee you, those are the players that you guys have problems with on track that have that, and they show an A plus A rating, and you're just like, how the hell are you here? Your racecraft is shit.
Yeah,
yeah. I had that with Suzuka this week. Shit ton of A plus drivers, and I was sandwiched in between A plusers. But at the end of the race, I was in third and second, and they just couldn't hold it.
And for some reason, they're like nudging you off the track, right? Like they're closing off the exit, thinking, "Oh yeah, this is my space." When in actuality, Fernando Alonso's in the background yelling, "You must always leave the space."
Yeah.
You must always leave the space.
That's what was great. I was behind someone doing that, and I stuck behind him. We were coming up to Spoon, and we were kind of side by side. I backed out, got behind him.
Those are the easiest drivers to get rid of.
Oh, yeah, because then, a couple corners later, he made a mistake, and then I was in front by a fucking mile.
Yeah, it's just patience at that point, right?
Exactly.
I think, we are the older group now. God damn! When did this fucking happen?
Right.
You just made
age
me
comes
proud.
knowledge, wisdom.
Literally, the edges of my mouth just turned down when you said that.
Yeah.
It's true though.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so true. We've been playing this game for a while now. And I think the recognition of like what you can and cannot do, like the knowledge base of that, right? It's experience. And I think racecraft comes with experience. But experience if you take it seriously.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I still see these guys sometimes like you know, they play I'm not going to say any names, but, you know, they play all the time, but then you watch them play, and, okay, I'll say it, it's Keith.
Oh, I was just going to say that. Oh, my God. I was just going to mention his name. God, we're all on the same page. We're linked.
Oh, yeah.
Because that guy oh my gosh, dude. The amount of time that guy plays, what he sees in racecraft, I have no idea what he's smoking, dude. I want what he's having, you know, during my streams,
Dude.
because he is on another level of delusion.
I've not given a
Oh,
fuck.
yes. Yeah.
That's
And
my
it's-
corner, not
With
yours.
Tidgety.
It's
Oh,
those-
dude. That
it's-
was horrible.
always
that type-
always his corner. It's always his corner.
It's that type of player that is the problem, in terms of the penalties and stuff like that, where they're just like, he cut across me. No, you motherfucker. You tapped his rear quarter so he would spin around you, right?
Yep.
Like, and he just doesn't. With some people, just don't see that stuff, right? Yeah, I unsubscribed to him quick after I
Yeah.
subscribed.
Yep.
And it's just a matter of seeing the racecraft and seeing what he's promoting, right? It's not that, it's his job. He should probably get a job, like a real job.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because he has a whole group of followers that think that's proper
they think
racing
he's
etiquette.
king.
Those are called sycophants.
And and we see the same moves happen in like nations and manufacturers, and then you talk to the guy that's doing it. Oh, and by the way, that's just how he drives because he's been doing it all the time everywhere else.
Yeah.
Has the nerve to come to you and say, "Hey, man, that was a dirty ass move." So I had I'm going to say it because I'm just like, I've had a problem with this dude. You guys know Dr. Marco?
No,
Oh, that
I
piece
don't.
of shit.
I don't.
He is a fucking piece of shit.
Who's Dr. Marco?
A piece of shit. That's what he is.
Well, I'm glad our reaction is exactly the same, even though I haven't said anything yet. I just mentioned his name. But we had a run-in on one of these Nations Cup things, right? And it was super funny because we were side by side, and I gave him space and everything like that. And I actually got nudged into him, right? And booted him off track, right? Hallelujah. Finally, it goes our way, right? And he had the nerve to message me after the race, and he literally showed me the video clip. He sent me the video clip, and he was like, RL, you drive really dirty. And I was just like, what the fuck did you just say to me? So I analyzed the entire race. It turns out that I gave him so much leeway, so much space. And the moment we got close is the moment that I got bumped into him, and he got hit off. And obviously he saw me and thought I was the dirty one. I sent him a response after all the racing that we've done, after all the incidents that we've come into contact with. The one incident that you come back to me is the incident that wasn't even my fault is unbelievable. And I straight up told him, like, listen, bro, like, this is out of all the side by side stuff, this is the only thing you can come and show me to tell me that I'm the dirty one. I told him to get out of here. I haven't had a response from him since. Yeah. I have to say though, he has improved a little bit. Okay. So I'm not going to sit here and just like blast him and say he's a dirty piece of scumbag that can't drive Gran Turismo, because he has improved. However, his ideas of racecraft are questionable.
Yeah, that's an understatement. I thought we were cool, and he just did dirty shit to me. Dirty
and it's
shit.
It's
just dirty. And I'm like, why? Why would you do that? I did nothing wrong. I'm like, no, here's the fucking video.
It's the side by side, like inside, outside. I'm going to slow the car just enough, like with your pace, and just kind of nudge you a little bit as I go around the corner. It's that type of passing, right? I guarantee you, he loves that type of passing.
Yeah, it's the leave you no room at the exit.
It's the run you off the track. It's the so we're side by side, but the apex is coming, and I'm not going to give you any track space.
Yeah, no,
It's pushing everyone wide is basically what it is.
And
it's pushing everyone off of the track.
It's crazy because I'd raced with him and done like side by side racing for 2 laps, nothing wrong, great race. Go into another race and go to do the same thing, and he's like, "Nope, I don't want to lose this position, so here, I'm going to dump you in or dump you out." I've been following you, I'm faster, but I can't get around you, so I'm going to dive the corner and push you out.
Oh my gosh, I get that all the time. Okay, so I feel like I am a master of defense. Have you guys played against me? Have you guys tried to pass me?
Probably.
I'm pretty difficult to pass for the most part. The way people pass me for the most part is they ram me and get me out of the way because they're frustrated. They're sitting behind me for like 2-3 laps and they can't get by. And it's because I'm looking at their car and analyzing where they're lacking, right? And so I'm figuring out what I can do to place my car in a position where they cannot get around me. Well, it always ends up I get rammed off the track. And it's just like, after all that great racing, you guys have to ruin it by just punting someone off.
I use, especially in downforce cars where there's dirty air, I am a master of using dirty air.
Yeah.
Put my car.
That's a skill set.
Yeah. I'm putting my car exactly in the place where I know you're going to be, and you're going to have to back off or you're going to go off the corner. It's exactly what you have to do, especially in Group 3, Group 2, Group 1, and Group X.
Yeah, it's all car position. Yeah, agreed.
You put your car in a position to where they lose traction, and that helps you out. Conversely, you have to be looking at the cars in front of you, trying to figure out where they're going to be because you're going to lose traction too.
That's the next level, right? Yeah. That's the next level driving, right?
And
it's not your.
And what you do to counter that is push somebody off the track and go, "You're slow."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, agreed.
Like, no,
100%.
No, you need to figure out how to counteract what I'm doing to you.
They just don't have the patience to figure it out.
No.
Right. And I think driving is one of those things where emotion plays so much part in how the car reacts. And you can tell, like, you can drive behind someone and you can tell if someone's having a great day or if they're having a shitty day.
Dude, well,
just with how the car's moving, right?
Yesterday, I was having a great day until I spun at Ascari, and then I spent the rest of the race fucking myself up because I was overdriving the car.
Yeah, because you're frustrated and you're overdriving.
Yeah, but guess what? I was happy that it was my mistake because I didn't get punted by somebody and my race wasn't ruined by an asshole.
Thank you.
I
ruined my own race, and I am goddamn proud of it.
Yeah, I can handle that. That's the thing. I get pissed off a little bit. I'm like, why did you do that? Okay, it was a mistake. Move on from it. All right, I was able to move on. I'm like, I still got a second place. No big deal. But when it's like, if the guy who
first loser.
I am first loser because of my own mistake. But if the dude who won the race had come into Ascari and punted me off, I would have been fucking livid and pissed off for the entire rest of the day because of that dude not racing right. That makes me more angry. I
was that guy Nations last week.
Who got
when were we at NER?
Stage X.
Oh no, there was a race where we
last race at manufacturers, I thought.
Oh, that's the one where I feel like I'm an asshole. I totally dive bombed someone and took them out because I was leading the entire race and they passed me on the straight and it got me pissed off. And I jumped for a spot where I was being a little ambitious. Okay, that was very over ambitious. But anyways, it's all on stream and you can see it. It's all documented. It's on there. But you can see my reaction on stream. I felt horrible winning that way.
Yeah.
But I still took the points because, fuck, points are hard to come by.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I felt bad, and that's the point, right? Like, I don't think other people would feel bad, like as dejected as I looked. That was like
right?
one of the worst wins I've had, but I'll still take the fucking points.
Yeah. I feel the same. I really feel bad when I accidentally miss, if I miss my breaking point and run into somebody.
If I screw someone else's race up, like, I feel horrible,
Yep.
right? Because
And-
I've been in their shoes. I've been the one that's been messed up with.
And I'm the first guy, if it's my fault, I am the first guy to hit my brakes and wait for that other dude and lose 15 positions. Because it's my fault. I deserve
the thing,
that.
though. Here's the thing, though. In daily races, who gives a fuck? That's like good lobby practice, right? I think in daily races, since it's an official sanctioned race, like, you're actually driving for DR. Even if you make those mistakes, you have to go on sometimes.
See, I have a difficult
Well, you
time
are a
doing that.
noble man.
Not
sir.
all the time.
You are
because-
not as much of an asshole as I am.
No, because I am the guy that if somebody pushes me off, pushes Mike off, pushes Sean off, pushes Vogs off, if I'm close to that motherfucker, you are going down. I will ruin my race and ruin the other person's life.
Oh, is that what happened to me?
I don't remember. God damn it!
I don't think there was ever a hit out on RL.
Probably not. I'm pretty behaved on track.
Hey, Mr. Brazilian last week there.
I'm the one dishing out the punishment if something happens.
Yeah,
Like Hawko.
I
did that yesterday. Felt great. This guy straight up tried to take me out, and half a corner later, he was off the track, and I felt fantastic.
Well, yeah, and I'll send him a message and go, I can't wait to see you in the next race.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's aggressive. I don't even go that far.
Oh yeah. I'm like, see you in the next race because you won't be finishing it either. Like I'm
passive aggressive, and I'll secretly put them on a list in my head.
Yeah, I do that too.
I'm aggressive because then they see me behind them and they're like, oh shit. And even if I don't go after him, it fucks their entire race because all they can think is he's going to get me at this next corner.
When they see
he's
you
going to
in,
get me at
they'll
this
know.
next corner. He's going to get me. At this...
driving in the rear view.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love doing that to people too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like my favorite tactic. If you ever race against me, you'll see me like bobbing and weaving behind you, like giving you fake dive bombs and stuff like that. The way to beat me is to not pay attention to what I'm doing.
Well, and that's part of racecraft too.
Yeah. Gotta keep your eyes forward.
You got to keep your eyes forward. You can't
don't race in your mirrors.
Yep. Because I do that. I get all panicked and start watching too much, and I fuck up. And
once again, it comes down to like just driving experience. So I mean, we've been racing for years now, virtually, right? Like there are situations where we see on track that happen that we see like 5 to 10 seconds before that incident happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you guys see it too. Like you'll see a couple guys next to each other, and you'll be like, "Oh, I know exactly what's going to happen in the next corner." So you line yourself up on an awkward line, and then all of a sudden that thing happens, and you're just like, "Yep, if I weren't on that weird awkward line and I didn't look ahead, then I would never have gotten that pass." And that's the type of awareness I think that comes with experience that a lot of players are learning right now, especially the younger crowd that's coming up. The younger crowd that just started sim racing with GT7, like they're going to go through the same pitfalls that we did growing up through this hobby, like the same mistakes, and eventually you get better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just that there are some idiots out there that do the same fucking thing every single time and don't realize they're doing fucking the wrong shit.
What's crazy is seeing in a B lobby that I was through 2 years ago, hopping into a B lobby now and seeing the same exact guys still in a B lobby.
Well, some of those guys are freaking, like just there to stay B.
And
you know what I mean? Some of those guys are there to like rule GT2. And I see those players out there and I'm just like, cool, dude. you're a fucking A driver and you rule fucking GT2. You came in first place in the country, GT2. Good job.
Yeah.
Like,
It's
I stopped all of that because I sat back and realized what was happening. And what you're really doing at that point is you're taking away from the next level player group. You're discouraging their play by coming in and winning the race by like 10, 15 seconds because you're the only like good driver in that lobby. And you take away these nation points and whatever, you're like, oh, I'm super strong in GT2. But at the same time, all these younger kids that are coming up wanting to learn how to race properly, they just simply get discouraged. They're just like, oh, I just got my ass like handed to me like by like 30 seconds. And like, I just got into the B rank, right? There's no way I'm going to advance. And then you get all this frustration of people wanting to get better, but they just can't because you got top A+ level players playing in fucking GT2 league.
Yeah, and see, I don't participate
do
in any of the nation stuff. On dailies, I do it, and 90% of the time, I'll get out there, I'll race the race, I'll be, start from the back, end up second or third, and then I hit my brake. I pull over to the right because I know those guys behind me need all the points that they can get to keep moving up. So I pull over to the right, let everybody pass, and then I go and take last place. Number one, because I don't want to advance my points, but number two, those guys race their asses off to get to that position.
Dude, some of those, you have to realize that some of those players, like, that's the best that they're doing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And like, you have to support that. Like, you can't, as a top rated player. Okay. I'll say it. As a top rated A rank, like A+ rank player, you should have no business playing GT2 races. No business.
Yeah, no.
You should not be going into any official races doing
you should
that kind
not,
of shit.
Exactly. You shouldn't be like DR, like, and I'll say it. I did it, right? I DR dropped. I was like borderline AB as GT Ronin was coming up, and I'm like, oh fuck, I could enter GT2 if I just lose a couple races in a row, and I did that, right? I lost a couple races in a row, entered the GT2 event. Sure enough, was like top whatever. I don't know. I was like top 10 or whatever for GT2 in the country, and I was like, I felt like a piece of shit, man.
Right?
Yeah, no.
I felt like I was taking away from other players
because in the end you were.
And I was.
Yeah, that's why you feel like
and
shit,
from yourself.
You were.
Because you're not getting better.
Like, you're not getting
better. And I wasn't getting any better because I was just driving away from the entire field.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's sandbags.
I did the nations in my B account for Monza there, and I went out and I qualified mediocre qualifying, but I still was third.
Yeah, right. And you're just like,
as soon as the race started, though, I just pulled straight over to the side and let everybody go, and I literally stayed at the back. I was just doing warm up laps, getting my pace for my account.
Right, for the main account, right? You're using it as like a warm-up.
But I finished at the back of the pack. I just see what kind of quality pace I could kind of get together, move out of the way, guys go race, and I literally just stayed at the back of the pack. I caught guys, and then I just kind of fucking let them go again,
Yeah, and that's how it should be as a top player, right? Like you shouldn't be taking those lower slots away from those people.
Well, and a couple weeks.
I shouldn't be running two accounts in the same GT1 league. Like I shouldn't be doing that, but here we are.
Yeah.
Well, you're still at the same level, though. You're still at the same level.
That's true. That's kind of
more practice.
And it's an exhibition. Obviously you don't want to be doing that on an official season.
No, that's great. I got to come here for therapy every weekend.
Yeah.
You're welcome to.
I hope you come back next week to let us fill us in on the enhancements.
Exhibition is practice.
For sure. The official rounds, I think it's going to be one screen name. If you do read the rules, it does say that you can only have one.
Right.
And you're not supposed to region hop too, by the way, for all those region hopping streamers that are out there. Like, I'm in the UK. Like, good job, bro.
Yeah.
You're breaking the rules blatantly online. But anyways,
so
at the end of the day, it's a video game.
Two 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was racing in the B lobbies, and there was, I say kid, but who knows? There was this person who was racing, and
Probably 42 years
Yeah,
old, super rigged up sim rig.
and always missing his braking point to the point that he smashed me off track.
Sure.
But I wasn't an asshole about it. I got a hold of him and was like, hey, man, you need to learn to brake just a little bit sooner, especially if you're in my dirty air, because you're not going to be able to brake as efficiently.
Yeah.
I was like, brake right before you think I'm going to brake.
Yeah.
And then,
people don't know how to follow.
Yeah, I'm like, because you end up dive bombing me every corner, and then you end up running into me and running me off track. I was like, I don't think you did it on purpose, but you need to learn from this experience and not do that. And he came back and he said,
He took it positive,
yeah, he's like, yeah, thank you for letting me know. I'm sorry I did that, and I will work on that.
Some people just don't see what they're doing, right? They don't see what they're doing is wrong. They think that inside line and then, oh, I kind of touched your car, but I passed you, was a clean pass.
Right.
Which blows my mind.
Dude just took me completely off track. Like it wasn't it wasn't even like a little bit of a nudge and then he, the old NASCAR nudge and pass. No, it was like fully missed his brakes, ran into the side of me. I'm like all the way off the track trying to get back on. And I'm like, okay, that's another thing with racing in the B lobbies that you just...
No, Todd left. He's tired of hearing this.
I guess so. Yeah. When you're racing in the B lobbies and you see that somebody is trying really hard but making mistakes, I don't have a problem going, hey, if you did this a little bit differently, you're going to be faster. And 90% of the time, the people are like, oh, okay, thank you.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm like, if you do this a little bit differently, and remember, you've got to brake and hit the apex on this corner, that means you got to brake a little bit sooner.
Who remembers their first time getting on a wheel and playing for the first time? Who remembers that feeling?
It was horrible.
Of like not knowing anything of like what's going to happen with the car. You have to realize there are players like that out there that we're playing with.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And
maybe not so much at the A level, but at the A plus level, you get those DR stackers that we're dealing with that just have no racecraft.
Yeah.
That think they're great because they daily race all the time. I'm sorry, I'm going off on. This is why you don't see me daily race like too much. So I don't want to be a daily DR stacker, right? Because like I can easily do stuff like that, like if I wanted to. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I only race daily races now that I really am attracted to.
Yeah.
Like this past week.
And that's why we get the same fucking tracks every single fucking update.
Yeah, well, and it's true. I will race. Well, the thing is, I will always, like, if it's a funky track and car setup, I don't mind that. My absolute favorite race ever so far were the Mazda Roadsters at Road Atlanta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or at Daytona.
Daytona.
Yeah, it's a fucking blast because those cars you have to drive.
Yeah.
You have to drive, and it makes it fun. The driving experience is, you don't have all the downforce in the world, and that car loves to kick its ass end out.
Oh yeah.
And you have to learn, number one, how to four-wheel drift that car like it's an old-school race car. You have to do that to be fast. And it's hard, but it makes it so much fun, especially when you get in a good group of drivers that you can trust and everybody's...
it's so rewarding.
Yeah.
When you're side-by-side with a pack, like, of 4 cars together, it's like the best feeling.
And everybody is running safe and clean, and there's like I was in a nations race. I don't know. It was probably the first nations race when GT7 came out, and I was racing with. Oh, I forget. The judge.
No, it's been a couple years,
the judge was in there, and a couple more people that really are fun to be around. I ended up 11th and had more fun in that race battling with people that were of my skill level and clean, and I was okay finishing 11th because of the fun of the race. I love battling
Yeah,
somebody that is good.
Yeah, it's more racecraft, right? It's more like I think top drivers strive more for like racecraft challenges as opposed to going fast.
Well, because it's fun to try to figure out how to get in front of your
Oh,
competitor,
100%.
or
It's
how to
it's a game of chess.
or how to keep that competitor behind you. There is so much fun because you're actually battling a guy with your wits, not your car.
What I want to know is how many people when they're in that situation, how many people are actually thinking about the other car, like the other driver. That's what I want to know.
Man, it depends. I think it really depends with the driver, because there are way too many drivers that just think about their car.
I know for a fact when I'm side by side with someone I trust, I don't think about that car too much.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No.
No,
Well,
you don't have to.
But when I am around someone I don't know, or like a Marco or something, I'm super hyper aware of what's happening with that other person's car.
Yeah,
to be.
because you have to be.
Yep. And you
And I
know
think
you got to
that
be on the inside, not the outside.
Well, sometimes with Marco, you just give him a dummy and he does everything himself.
okay.
So, yeah. But I think a lot of the racecraft that's happening is a misbalance of experience. And I think a lot of the daily stuff is just a lot of people that are in the dailies all the time. You'll see that screen name in the same race throughout the entire week, pretty much. Yeah, they just know how to. So let me ask you guys this: when do you guys do daily races?
Well, Monday nights we'll try the new ones, and then for me, if it's a good combo that I really like, then I'll try and do it at least a couple times, and just get the practice in. And two, dailies for me is mainly like just practice, just trying to get racecraft down. I've been really trying to like follow people real close and not hit them. So I've gotten pretty good at that, to where I'm just inches from their bumper going into a corner and not bumping them off.
You have a motive, you have a target as far as what you want to see when you're driving.
And I definitely want to, place well and get good DR, but, been a low A for the past like year and a half trying to get that up. And this past week with that combo, I have so much confidence, know that track, know those cars, that I'm
Time
just
to DR stack.
Yep. Oh yeah. I'm right there. I'm a hair away from A+ again. Hair away from A+. So then when I do get into those Nations Cups, I'm in those higher lobbies to get those good points. Because other than that, I'm in those low point lobbies. I want to be up there. I want to be in the GT1, high lobbies. But yeah, mainly use dailies for practice and to see how close I can get to people and work my way around, defense, offense, seeing what they're doing, kind of stuff. But yeah, this last week I'd just been I got time off of work, so then that's another excuse. I get to play more. Yeah. So take the time.
Yeah, that helps.
And play more, because I don't get a lot of time usually. I'm on once, maybe twice a week, and then if there's main events, I'll get some practice in and do those main events. But other than that, not that much.
Man, I feel like an asshole. I play every day for hours.
I'm an evening guy myself, just like when I'm done work, if I got the energy and mental capacity to drive.
Well, I'll tell you when I play daily races. Mainly, it's just the Sunday and Monday when it changes, and then beyond that, I really don't have a desire to daily race. And I think the reason for that is because I know that there are people out there that they're just sitting there all fucking day doing that same event over and over and over again. So I feel like the true competition happens in the first couple days when everyone's fresh and new to the track. And I feel like the track time dictates everything past Tuesday. And that's kind of what I see. There are streamers that do this every single day, right? That, and the reason why they do daily race all the time is because in YouTube land,
Oh yeah.
that's the only
Yeah.
thing in Gran Turismo that gets attention is the daily racing. It's not my fucking weekly challenge, fucking come see my green room streams. It's the red room. It's the racing that gets the views, and that's why they do it, and that's why they're on all the time. But at the same time, it's just 3 different events the entire week. And by the end of the week, like Sunday, right? I guarantee you people are fucking pros at Suzuka right now. I guarantee you if I hop on track right now on Suzuka Cold, like I'm going to get dusted by people that have just been there all week, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like daily races, the only competitive time for daily races is really that first day. And beyond that, you get people that have been sitting in there and doing it a lot. So yeah. Like you could see that with like Daily A right now. Like there's going to be one person sitting there, probably like RL9010, but that fucking asshole, sitting
That
in
guy
Daily
again.
A, just fucking winning by like 4 seconds every race, right? Like just sitting there for like the entire evening. Like once it hits 8 o'clock, forget about it. You're not fucking you're not winning there anymore, right? Like. You have those people sitting in those daily races every single day. And like, I'm pretty sure like in the C lobbies, you see that too. You see like the same name going around over and over and over again. How are you going to compete with seat time? Really though?
Oh yeah.
How do
exactly.
how do you compete with that? Right. Because it's about this game is all about what you feel in your hands. And what you can imagine is happening in the car. And geez, if you do the same race for hours, you're going to be fucking fast by the end of the week. So yeah, I just wanted to see when you guys really daily race, because if you guys are coming in and hopping in on daily races towards the end of the week, man, hats off to you, because you're entering like a war zone.
Yeah.
You're entering a zone
A little bit.
where people have been practicing, and that's like pretty much all they know how to drive for the week.
Yep.
And so whenever we have these Nations Cup and Manufacturers Cup on the weekend, it's always funny to see the daily racers and see how they do in the Nations Cup stuff, right? Because they haven't been practicing that at all, right?
Yeah.
So they're basically coming into like Nations Cold, but they're daily race pros. It should be the other way around, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. When it's an official season, we do a lot of
practice.
Race practice.
Practice.
We have lobbies and doing laps after laps every night.
But we're talking about practice. Practice is practice. Iverson. No, just kidding.
It's funny that you say that too.
Showing our
I
age.
do that too. Like, every time I hear the word practice, it's all practice.
We're talking about practice.
AI.
Practice, man.
But it's super important. Like, I think the success that I've had this past weekend must come from the lobby racing that I've been doing, throughout the week. So this next Nations Cup is going to be a huge, huge mystery. And I am enjoying this because they are keeping the event locked.
Yeah.
And we have no idea what it is until the update.
And no one's leaked anything. No info's got leaked.
Thursday. Yeah.
No. It's either, obviously we got new cars, but it's either new cars and track.
That would be amazing, right? All of a sudden they're like, surprise, here's a new track. Fuck you guys, right? Like a giant middle finger to all of us, right? I want Polyphony Digital to show us a giant middle finger and just launch a bunch of shit and just be like, listen, fuck y'all.
Fuck yeah. I would love that.
There is a slim chance, because if you've never looked before, they've listed it as when it's only a car, the track is usually there, and it says race, like a specific car. It doesn't say what car, but it says specific car when it's going to be a new car. This has no information of car.
No information whatsoever.
Nothing.
And they've never really done that before without.
But you know what's really interesting Daily A has been at NER in their tuned cars this week. I think that's super interesting. Because that tells me that are they looking at this, trying to get the balance of
Right.
performance better so that you could use any car that you want?
Good
Have you
idea.
done Daily A this week?
I have
Daily
not.
A this week is actually pretty fun because you could use any car
Yeah.
and pretty much get a good, like a decently good result.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what they put in the code, but
They've actually
It's a
done
very
a
balanced
good
pack.
balance of
The
performance.
balance of
That pack cars
performance-
is good.
dude, the balance of performance right now in Daily A is amazing. Yes, you're going to see a bunch of like F40s, but that's because everyone just loves the F40, right? But like, if you look,
Yeah,
I've been watching the car selection in Daily A as I've been going in, and I've been switching cars too, and it's not a one car race, which is awesome. Unlike fucking Monza, which was a
Well,
fucking
here's-
Bugatti VGT race.
Oh yeah, I drove
Here's
the
the one
Audi
thing
and got
about
my
that.
ass smashed.
That Daily A, that they've been working that pack of cars for a while.
They have been, and
I like that
so
pack,
it's
too.
it's something that they're preparing for us. So I'd be shocked if it was like all of a sudden it was like, hey, it's Nürburgring and specified cars on like 4 laps or 6 laps or something like that. That would be
Ooh,
amazing,
that
right?
would be good.
Like I think we've had a 6-lap Nür before, but
think
that was
so.
for manufacturers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Here's
like
my
5 or
thought
6.
between-
Give me weather too. I won't
Oh,
Here's
shit.
my thought between manufacturers and Nations Cup, and this might tick people off. It probably will, but that's okay. Nations Cup is for the casual sim racer, and Manufacturers Cup is more for the serious sim racer.
Yeah, I love manufacturers
And
more than
I
I've-
would
nations.
agree.
I feel like the car and tracks and just the event selection in general, like Monza's a noob friendly place. Where else did we go this past Nations Cup?
Special stage, was it Special Stage X?
Special
yeah, that
stage
fucking
X.
special stage
Yeah, I didn't do that
RX,
one.
and then those tuned. It's like a slipstream battle for
Yeah.
fucking 3 laps
Yep.
of just surviving, right? Or like, I call that you did well if you have friends race.
Yeah.
Fucking Ronan
Yeah.
doesn't have any fucking friends. Fuck, I got
Hey,
fucking
he's
my ass handed to me.
Yeah. They
Well,
had the other race was Group 4 at Fuji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was good.
You know,
I didn't mind that
yeah,
one.
Group 4 cars, in my opinion as well, is the noob friendly race car.
Yeah.
Group 4 is definitely noob friendly because if you make a mistake, you can't cover it. Right? Group 3, you can cover your mistakes with straight up power and speed sometimes.
Yeah.
But Group 4, if you lose that momentum, you lose that momentum.
Yeah, you're screwed. You're falling back.
And Group 4 is just a different type of driving, right? That's just a momentum drive. Like, you have to drive these cars differently, which I don't think people realize, unless you're old farts like us.
Yeah.
But everything takes a different approach. Like you got to push the downforce cars differently than the Group 3 cars and
Yep.
and all that jazz. And like, I think I don't know.
I prefer
That's the great thing
downforce.
about Gran Turismo. There's so many like nuances within the game that you can focus on and improve upon and overall improve. But there's such small things, right? Anything from like where to shift, where peak power is, how your torque band is. Like
Oh yeah.
you dive into that stuff and you find out, yes, it
Oh, I
felt slower, but it was actually faster, right? Like those are the small things that this game offers, I think.
Yeah. I think so.
Wow.
Well, this was a good one. Should we jump into next week's dailies real quick and then
It's-
shoot her
Get
off?
out of here.
Think we should?
All right.
Yeah,
Here you
sure.
go. Let me turn that up a little bit. Ooh, Coach Mike. What's next week look like?
Thank you. So next week's daily, starting off daily race A, we're going to be at Laguna
Ooh,
on the
tough.
race mediums.
Tough. That's tough.
I believe we're probably going to be driving Group 4 cars. It's usually a Group 4 friendly track, so
Yeah.
that'll be no
That's a tough
DR,
track.
probably SR.
I love that track.
Medium tires, so there'll be some grips, so there'll be some push to shoves into the sand and taking trips to the beach. So
That's
be wary of
run you off track. That was my space.
Yeah. So yeah, could be interesting, but more than likely I'll skip in that one.
Right. Yep.
Daily B is going to be taking us back to Spa again.
Nice. That's going to be a fun one.
Yep,
It's probably going to be a Group 3.
Yeah.
We're going to be on the racing soft tires.
Yeah, probably a
And
Group 3.
Nice.
And I'm going to say Group 3 with another chance of mix up with back to Group 2 again, because we did that recently there.
That would.
Are there any EC events happening around Spa? Have you noticed that they have been lining up some of these events?
Yeah, they have been
according
doing
to
some
what
of
real
them.
events are.
Let's see.
Yeah,
ELMS
WEC's done.
ELMS is done. WC is done. It might be one of the European series, like GT series there, maybe.
Yeah.
But the problem is Spa is in Belgium and it's cold now, so I don't know that they are going to have any races.
Oh, right. It's a snowy season for
Yep.
them, huh? Pretty soon.
Yeah, it's November.
So I
Yeah.
couldn't see that there's an event there other than the fact that people love racing Spa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Spa's one of those tracks that attracts just
Oh, yeah.
a massive amount of players. Like, it's long enough to where it's okay. It's a longer track, right? But people want those longer
Yeah,
tracks.
I like it. I love
Yeah,
Spa.
Well, it gives you a chance to come back if you make a mistake.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm on the website right now for Spa, and there's nothing after.
Nothing,
last
no
week
events. Yeah. Okay. So
until next year.
sorry, no correlation to real life events.
Yeah, unfortunate. But yeah, so Racing Soft could be Group 3, could be a return of Group 2 again there, because they've done that before, and they, like we've talked already, a little bit of repeating the tracks and combos that brought people out. And then on to the highlight, the strategy race of sorts, Daily C. We're going to be at a new track, it looks like.
Ooh.
Deep Force Raceway Reverse.
Oh.
Ooh. The total.
I don't think we've ever driven there before, so that'd be new.
I think that track
Total
does very
PD.
well for
You know,
And
did you know that
reverse.
line
deep?
racing.
Did you know that Deep Forest is one of Kazunori's favorite tracks?
Really?
Yeah, that's probably why it's
Yeah.
repetitive. One of the most repetitive.
Yeah, it's always.
He mentioned that, like, he was asked, if you can make any track, any Gran Turismo track in real life. He straight up said Deep Forest.
I like it.
I
like
hate it in reverse.
I
like it
love
normal.
regular way. I
Yeah,
hate
normal,
it
it's
in reverse.
good. Reverse fucking sucks.
Yeah. So reverse kind of sucks going up the hill into the hairpin.
Yeah.
It really does. But it's going to be a racing hard, racing medium,
Oh,
Okay.
shit, okay.
two times fuel, and 7 times tire wear.
Hey, it's a tire race.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
going to be a very good chance of Group 3 for that as well, which is why it
Group
leans
2.
maybe.
Dude, that'd be
I
cool.
don't know if they
Group
do
two?
Group 2 back to back.
Yeah.
That'd be
On
cool.
the
I'd
Daily
be down
C,
with
that
that.
they usually mix. That's why I look at it as like
Okay, so they're going to
They
throw
do
Group
mix it up.
2. They're going to throw Group 2 on Spa,
that's
And
what
then-
I think. And then
and then they're going to
four
give
that.
us Group 3 for.
And then A is going to be Laguna at Group 4, mainly because they don't do the same like specialty car Group 2, Group 1, or anything back to back, kind of on a Daily C. So really strong chance Daily C is going to be Group 3 cars, and B will be Spa with the Group 2, but it also could be Group 3 because they've done Group 4, 3, 3 before.
Right, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
How many laps do you think
But
on that one
again-
with the tire change?
you're probably looking at a 10 to 11 lapper.
Okay.
That would give a good 20 to 25 minutes with time to get into the next race, especially in Group 3 cars. So,
Yeah.
like we said,
Yeah,
they
I don't
have
think we're going to
been
get a
lot-
super endurance Deep Forest.
no.
So
Not at time 7.
Yeah, no.
Not at time 7.
I was thinking
Yeah,
probably
it'll
like
be-
at
it'll be
least
30-minute
8
race.
laps, 8 to 11.
If it was at
Yeah.
times,
Yeah,
if it was
30-minute
at
races.
times 2 times 3 tires and fuel and 2 different compounds, I could see a bit of an endurance there.
yeah.
Simple
But
fact
not
that
times
that's-
times
yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Times
times
7.
seven.
That means what? The compounds? Medium
Hard
and
and medium.
Medium and hard.
hard
So,
and
yeah.
medium.
and that's why I say about 10, 11. So
it's going to be like
likely 11.
5 laps medium, and
5, 6.
like 5, 6 laps hard. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Probably like an 11 lap race at most.
And if you're good, you may be able to do some tire and temperature management to get the extra medium lap or whatnot. But it'll be a bit close to that 50% mark around for swapping. So.
Well, I can tell you right now, using the sim dashboard for tire temperatures, especially with softs at Suzuka, is a godsend.
Oh, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's great. It's great being able to watch
I could see
that.
that. I wish I could see it while I'm playing.
Right?
Yeah.
You think
Yeah,
they'll
VR.
ever add that
I'll
to
always
VR?
see it No, they won't.
Nope.
It's too much of a clusterfuck.
Okay.
Like, you're going to get too much shit all over the place and ruin the immersion aspect of it.
Okay.
I think VR, like, the information we get is the information we get.
Do you think
I
we'll
mean,
ever get
same-
deltas, though, for people behind and in front of them?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think that gives VR too much of a competitive advantage at that point.
Interesting.
Because I feel like VR already is a competitive advantage.
Yeah.
It's crazy because a lot of people still think not. A lot of people still think you're slower in VR than they are in a flat
how
screen.
long are they playing VR? They're playing for 1 week and they're like, I'm slower in VR. Of course you are, numbnuts. Like, what do you expect? Like,
exactly.
You've been playing 2D for like years, and all of a sudden you switch into this 3D environment.
Well, that's what I like about the
you're gonna be taken back a little
hardcore VR guys like us, because we're proving that you can be fast as fuck in VR.
Oh, I'm the fastest I've ever been in my life right now.
Same.
The ability to go, like you said, like from the 2D locked in, whatever view you use, whether it's bumper cam, bonnet, chase cam, or whatever you're driving with in 2D, to go to VR and have the ability to drive a car like real life, to look through the corner, to be able to turn your head and look through the apex and see where you're going ahead of where you are is unmatchable. Like to be able to see where you're going and adjust your line because you can see where you're not going. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you guys
Let
me ask you guys this: when you guys started Gran Turismo, what was your go-to view?
Bumper.
Bumper, right? Like that open, just the digital gauge, right?
I was dash.
No, you're a weirdo.
That's too much. Flat screen.
So you must have started sim racing a little bit later. Because the cockpit and dashboard really wasn't great until like GT5.
Yeah.
It wasn't. But I always just had to use cockpit.
That's probably why you're so fast.
Funny,
you're so used to cockpit.
Funny enough, like towards the end of Gran Turismo 6, I actually started playing in cockpit more. And I found that the subtle differences in that view actually did give you more car control, which is weird, but I was slower in that view always.
Same.
So we all come from that digital dash. Well, almost everyone. Thanks a lot for screwing up my anecdote.
You know what's really funny is like even like because before I got a wheel and was wheel driving and that, which has only been last like 4 or 5 years maybe. On controller, I was still on bumper cam, whereas I see a lot of controller players are more, say, chase cam. Because which to me is like, I'm on a controller. I'm not really fully immersed into the game, but I find like chase cam is very arcadey. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Gran Turismo 1, I mean, that's kind of that was the best view because you actually got to see the cars, right? As opposed to just a dash.
Sure. When I was younger, I loved seeing the cars go around.
Yeah, but now,
that was part of it.
Once I see chase cam, it's like, what are you playing, Need for Speed?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, once you grow up.
Exactly.
Once you grow up, you realize you don't drive from outside on a drone camera.
Yep.
No.
Nope. That's why you need that VR. You need that VR.
Yeah, so VR.
One more quick thing. Do you think they'll ever add a daily race D in endurance?
No, I don't think they have enough money. I don't think it's a server money issue. I don't think they want to invest in more servers. They did close down GT Sport, right? Which
Yep.
means like, oh, they should have more servers available for us to use now, right? But they're all the hardware's probably antiquated and outdated.
Yeah, exactly.
And to replace that is not cheap. And it's not like we're paying for these freaking updates. Like all this stuff, content that we're getting, like they're not getting any extra money from it.
Right.
They're just
they're paying for it on their end, but we get it for free.
if they did get money for all this extra stuff, like I'm pretty sure they'd be doing something. I have a feeling that server room's like already being used for development of the next generation.
Okay.
Gran Turismo.
All right. Hell
So
yeah.
I have a feeling they're using that processing power in other ways. Yeah, I mean, they're constantly working on new things over there. That's why they were at a freaking computer graphics conference, right? Learning about new shit.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I feel like this was great. Appreciate you coming on. All this info.
What do you mean this is great?
Right?
We're done already?
Yeah.
Dude, it's only been
Rogan length.
It's only been
3 hours. Rogan length
It's
fucking
only
pod.
been like half the length of my usual streams.
Hopefully
like,
people listen.
I'm just getting warmed up.
Right? Fuck yeah. Well, fuck, dude. You're welcome
we'll
back
have you on
any
again.
damn time you want. If you
Yeah,
want,
well, you
next
give me
week
a holler.
after the that enhance update and you try that out, when you're ready to come tell
shit.
us how much that's improved or if it's improved at all, that would be great.
Well, me being PlayStation, I'm just going to just blasting everything and just being like, if you don't get it, you're the biggest loser in the world.
Oh hell yeah.
Well,
Well,
we appreciate it. We really do. I mean, this has been.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is like super length Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm going to
podcast
stream and I'm going to
territory,
pimp it out. I'm going to be mentioning this big time.
It's definitely it's great to have somebody that sort of understands the ins and outs of the business. It'll help other people understand why things are done a certain way.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, dude, the product that they give us is a result of their business development team, and like that's. I don't know. Maybe because I look at it more as like a company operation, like a company driven thing, like, and the fact that my managers are totally Japanese, so I can see where Polyphony Digital's at. Like,
Well, I think that
terms of the
helps
bus-
people
in
too
terms of
understand
the-
more. Give that insight.
in terms of like the business culture, right? Like their business culture is so different compared to the business culture that we have in the United States,
Yep.
and bridging that gap is probably is a hard thing. So all the Vision GT stuff, like, god damn, that's amazing. They got all the major car companies to make them a car, like devote resources, like that's a power play right there. And like people don't realize how significant Gran Turismo is. As far as a game, they see it as like, oh, we have like a ton of Skylines and we're getting a bunch of the same car, but like, do you really understand what's going on behind the scenes getting us this product? It's a shit ton of work. Like, what we're getting is probably a lot of the work they were doing in GT5, to be honest with you.
Damn.
And it's a ton of data, and it's just going to be more and more. And as we push the hardware, like 8K gaming is unbelievable. If I could do that today, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. And I'm in the industry, right? I'm in the 8K industry, and that's just absolutely nuts that I can go out and buy a $2,000 television. I can buy this $700 console, and I can get 8K in my house.
Damn.
Shit.
And
You
you
guys-
know
you
shit
guys
probably
realize-
like 5 years in advance, huh? You already a little bit,
Well, I have a good
20,
idea of
30.
what's happening.
right?
What's happening is I think we're seeing a frame rate revolution. So it's going to be all about frame rate and HDR. And the broadcasters are going to fight us and be like, you guys just need 1080p HDR. That's all
Fuck
you
that.
need.
No.
And then the people that are going to be pushing the limits are going to be doing 4K 120 HDR. And that's as far as we're going to get broadcast terrestrial wise for the next 4 or 5 years. and hopefully we'll see 8K soon. The first place you'll see that stuff is probably in those large venue stuff that's happening right now, like that big ball in Vegas, for instance.
Yeah, the Sphere or whatever the hell it is.
That's probably one of the first places you'll see true super high resolution. Yeah, I can tell you right now, guys, the next generation of video is like staring through a fucking window.
Wow.
Everything's 3D. Ugh. Like, you don't need glasses for it. It just looks like you're staring through a window.
Fuck, yeah.
Why the fuck is everyone fighting this shit? I don't understand.
I'm waiting for it. I wish it was here now.
Fear.
Dude, 3D with no glasses? Oh, that's the shit right there.
It's
like a hologram.
Absolutely crazy. Oh, my stadium system, whenever I fire up the stadium system and I'm looking through the crowd, because we can see what you're eating and shit like that, like, it's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man.
That's so wild.
Right.
So wild.
Shit. Well, we appreciate you coming on. I hope everyone listening
no problem.
fucking loves this episode. Make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you're listening on Spotify, leave us a comment. You can now leave comments in Spotify.
Oh, shit. We're on Spotify?
Fuck yeah, we're on Spotify. We're on Apple fucking shit, Amazon. We're on. You could tell your Alexa to play the podcast.
Sweet.
Oh, hell yeah. We're on it all.
So you guys can totally pay my retainer.
Yeah. Once we get a few more downloads, I'm hoping.
I told you guys it was $1,000 an hour before we got me started.
We might be on all those,
So I'm up 3 right now. Should we keep going?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Just put it on Todd's tab.
Right, Todd's got this
okay,
one.
got it. So I'm just gonna message Todd.
Yeah, he's the money guy.
Just bill him.
So for this, yeah,
he's got the money because he doesn't update his technology.
Is that what it is? Is he still on Excel on an old?
Still.
Yeah, he needs a laptop.
He's still got that notebook of assets and liabilities. You can put me down under liability for 3,000.
Oh, hell yeah. Everyone enjoy this Rogan length episode, because I did. I fucking enjoyed this one. This was a great one. This was great. We awesome. Appreciate it. And thanks to everyone listening. I can't believe it's over already. And we will see everybody next week. And have a good week of racing, everybody.
Yep. What'd you say, Todd?
On that bombshell.
Woo! We out of here.
See you.
See ya.